Hey y'all. I said, hey, how y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Listen, this community right here, y'all know we gotta talk it out. We gotta talk it out. We gotta talk it out. Hit the like button though, please. As y'all come in, hit the like button. I see how many people sitting in here. I need to see how many likes. Y'all help the girl out. I'm gonna do my best to get y'all through this reunion recap. We're gonna have a few laughs. We're gonna talk about these trifling heifers. Oh yes, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, honey. It's going down. So y'all come on in, get comfortable. Shoes off, loosen your bra straps, take off the wig, honey. Feet up, snacks in hand, as well as your wine glasses, if you got them. Drink them if you got them, ladies. Drink them if you got them. All right, let's get on into this thing. I want to greet everybody. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone that is here. Thank you for y'all support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing love to me. Thank you for showing love to each other. If nobody says it to you, I appreciate you, each and every one of you. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. Every one of you. Queen Mermaid, you crazy. Talking about you naked. Let me get my crown. Girl, put your crown back on. The crown and fell off. The girl in here naked, y'all. She naked as the day she was born. But listen, I really do mean it. I really appreciate you guys. Like y'all touched me so much yesterday, and I appreciate it so much. Let me start greeting people. This is not time to get mushy because we got to talk about these trifling folks, honey. Debbie Garcia, thank you for the first super chat of the night. He said, just getting home from a beautiful home going. Wow. So missed it too. So can't wait to hear about it. Well, you have my condolences, and I'm definitely going to tell y'all what went on. Okay. Shanika C is in the house. Our good girl, Debbie Garcia, is here. God's anointed daughter. Hey, sis. All right. Pink Rosa. Hey, beautiful. It is a mess. Whole mess. And we going to get into it too. Nacho Twins mama is in the house. Project Beauty brand. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you got a lot to say because I want to hear what everybody got to say about this mess. Learning to love myself. Hello, pretty lady. Callie Harper, how you doing? Queen Mermaid up in here doing the strip tease. Mo Rocker. Hey, how you? It's good to see you. Dr. J, 1913. I love me some Dr. J. Rose 33 is in the house. The beautiful Bianca Edwards is here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. All right. Let's see who else is up in here. Let me greet everybody because we got to start talking. Trina, how you? That's right. Happy Sunday, cool gamer. I love my cool gamer. Hey, how are you? Ray Ann. Hey, boo. How you doing? Mina Hill. Child, Ray Ann say she heated. Girl, you like Beyonce with that song Heated? They got you heated. Okay. Mina Hill. Yes, Mina. We got to talk about it, girl. Tia Balla. What's up, Red Majestic Diva? This gorgeous lady is in the house. How you doing? Dana Brown. Hey, girl. Happy to be happy. We glad you made it. Miss Sparkle is here, y'all. Our resident Mary Kay lady. Y'all know who she is. Gotta holler at if you need them satin hands or you need to mess around and get your satin lips. You don't want your lips crusty. Okay, because you know people talk about you. Holler at Miss Sparkle. Nona, how you doing? Hey, Generous Soul. How are you? Miss Gardner, hey, how are you? Abigail, how you doing? Y'all, it is the beautiful and gorgeous Niecy Rose all the way from Canada. Okay, the Ghanaian beauty herself. Yvette all the way from Birmingham, UK. You know what it is. Lel, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Fifi, hey sis. Love you bunches. Pris B, what's happening? T Hutch, hey. E Davis, how you doing? Millie Rock, what's happening? Oh man, my whole family up in here today. And, oh, Cheryl, hey, I said my whole family was here. I wasn't lying. Okay, Yolanda Franklin, how you doing, Bookie? Uh-oh, Brian had to throw that crown back on. We appreciate your cousin. Slide it back on. We glad to have you. We love you. Happy to see you. Sasha Ellis. Hey, sis. Edwin Pena, how you doing? We missed you. Brittany Janae, how you doing? Child, you sick of that three-faced Robert. I'm so tired of little Robert, baby. Little Robert might get drugged tonight. I've been trying to behave. Krista Jones, hey, pretty girl. My essence is here. Rochelle, hey, girl. Miss Kaiser So say, what's up? How you doing? Shani, hey. France, welcome. Ooh, what a pretty girl. I told y'all all the pretty girls come to the porch. Lisa Cooper, there's another pretty girl. Represent Tallahassee, Leon County. You better let them know what it is, Lisa. This is a Florida girl's room. Okay, hey, Patricia Robinson. What's going on? All right, Queen of Hearts, KS, did you get your email, boo, with your notes? You know, I always remember you. I don't care whether you make it or not. I don't forget my boo. I love me some Queen of Hearts. Jay Stokes, what's happening? Candy R, how you doing? DH, how are you? Hey, this is A. How are you? Ellie from Miami. That's my girl. Y'all don't know. That's my girl. Miss Kiki in the house. FD Johns. What's happening? Project Beauty Brands a dragger. Don't worry. I think it's going to be a little bit of drag and go on tonight. Allure. Hey. Another beautiful girl, the beautiful Chanel D. Queen is here. Sherry Scott. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Tutu for your info. I'm so glad to see you, sis. You did get on Queen of Hearts. Hey, it's Tish. That's right, y'all. Hit that like button. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Hey, who said that? Listen, anybody else that makes it in, if I don't greet them, y'all, please make sure you greet everyone as they come in. If they comment, y'all tell them hello. If it's your first time seeing them, welcome them here. Everybody's welcome on the porch, unless you act a fool. Then we might have to usher you off the porch. But everybody is welcome here initially. Okay? And we glad to have you, and make sure everyone feels welcome. I don't want anybody to feel tolerated because we don't like it. Okay? You don't want nobody to do it to you. Don't do it to nobody else. Okay? Let's not act like Giselle and her friend Lil Robert. Let's not do that. All right? Hey, Anita. Don D, how you doing? My Latavia is here with that beautiful voice. Listen, y'all missed it. She was in Bible study yesterday, and she just felt like singing, like the Spirit just touched her. Child, this girl had me cry my whole eyelash off. Okay, M. Guerrero, how you doing, beautiful lady? Listen, we got to talk about this show, man. We got to talk about this show. Oh, whew. I'm excited. I can't wait. Amazing. Thank you for the super chat. She says, haven't watched it yet because I'm at work. I was too ready to sit on the porch and talk ish. Love you, cuzzo. Keep being great. I appreciate you. I do. Oh, man. Y'all, I had ordered food and they canceled my order. Talking about they can't get no drivers. It's getting real out here. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate it. All right, Auntie Eva, you made it. All right. Yeah, they talked about colorism 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah, they tried to keep it real PC. I ain't got time for that. We're gonna talk about all these heifers. All of them are subject to a dragon tonight. Okay, if you sensitive, might want to run off the porch. Hey, Vita. All right, my sis is here. My beautiful sis, Lily. I love her so much. Okay, Angel, how you? Good to see you. I'm glad you caught a live too. Dora, hi. Yeah, all of them are subject to a dragging tonight. So please, if you are sensitive, if you take heart medication, anything like that, please be aware. Please be aware. Dragging will take place tonight. Okay, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Hey, Barbara Parker. All right, my MJ is here. Hey, boo. All right, and the second Deborah is here. We got Debbie and Deborah. Now they're here. We can start. Okay, I was low-key waiting. You what you say? This your new favorite channel. You knew it was a reason I liked you, Florida girl. That's right. Ain't nothing like a Florida girl, and it takes one to know one. You know how we move, honey. We ladylike, sweet, soft, and rough all at the same time. Hey, Kelly Stroll. And again, how you doing? Miss Peaches N.O. All right. Look, the fam is here. Lil Mackie. Oh, shoot. Lil Mackie in the house. Child, that wig pull did not equal getting beat up. Giselle just can't never tell the truth when she's full of crap. I don't know why she's so full of it, but you know she is, and that's why we're gonna talk about it. Hey, only one Adrian, how you doing? So look, let's get into this thing. Let's start where they started, right? Okay. So we started back with this same conversation about Chris because that's where it ended. You know how it go. I don't have to tell y'all. Hey, Michelle Charisse. So it still came down to what did he do to you? And all she could say, Nadu Bella, how you doing? All right, all right. It came down to, well, he made me uncomfortable. He made me uncomfortable. What did he do to you? What did he do to make you uncomfortable? He spoke to you. Hey, Catherine Bennett. He looked at you. He was breathing. He was living. He existed. What made you uncomfortable, you lying cow? Now, I do like that cheese laughing cow, but this ain't like laughing cow. This one got way more calories in it. Look more like cottage cheese. Spoiled, curdled cottage cheese. But this is a lying cow. Okay, Mia tried to jump in. You know, we talked about that yesterday with the preview that she kept trying to jump in. She kept trying to make this about her. And Giselle was like, you know, blaming Candiance. You made this way bigger. No, ma'am, you told a lie. And every time you tell a lie, it needs to be blown up. Like it needs to be blown up like a nuclear bomb. Nothing on the planet should let it be small. It don't need to be swept under no rug. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger than my backside. It needs to be bigger than them potholes on Mia's face. It needs to be bigger than Mount Everest. Because you need to quit lying. The fact that she literally was trying to put her discomfort, hey, Black Swan, on being caught in that lie and being called out for that lie on Candiance. So I can lie on your husband, but I'm going to blame you if I feel uncomfortable or if I feel put upon or if I feel awkward or what have you, because you refuse to speak to me and you're acknowledging the fact that I'm lying on your husband. Now, how the hell is it her fault? That didn't make no sense. Okay, Mia kept talking, child. Candiance just reached down there with her long fingers. Honey, she got the long ladylike fingers, you know, not like girls like me. I don't have the long, slender, pretty fingers, honey. She reached them piano player fingers down there and told Mia, shut up. Shut up. Shout out to the girls with the long, slender fingers. My baby has those, my peanut. But I don't. But Candiance gave it. She gave that. She reached down there, honey. That arm extension was classic. The way she reached down there, she said, shut up, and kept right on talking to Giselle. I say, Lord, Mia ought to be tired. She ought to be tired because I'm tired for her. You mean to tell me you ain't tired of these people letting you know that you don't fit one of these things is not like the other? Have mercy. Girl, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for her. Wasn't it? Did you see the extension that Candiance gave on that arm? Baby, Candiance extended that arm and pointed that finger like she was posing for a picture. Told that heifer to shut up and went right back to dealing with Giselle. Went right back to dealing with the Lord of the Rings. She said, God done it, she ain't Frodo, and she coming all the way to Mount Sauron. She's there. She's ready to handle it. M. Guerrero say, because she really had nothing to say to this part, still ain't saying nothing at all. You couldn't even handle it. Them heifers laughing and cackling when you was trying to explain how the hell you and your husband got voted out of a business that you claim to be the CEO of. But then when it's time for Giselle to face the music for telling all them outlandish lies, here you come jumping your ignorant behind in. Sitting up there with that terrible wig on, parted in the middle, looking like alfalfa from the Little Rascals. Child, it was just ridiculous. It looked absolute. Everything about her looked ridiculous. Lily say it was good. I'm about to watch it again. I know that's right, girl. Watch it again. Hey, Southern Charm. Say that was Candiance channeling her mama. She might have been because the extension on that arm was impressive. And I mean, she kept it ladylike too. It was a slight bend in the wrist. The hand had a nice little, little tuck to it. It was nice. It was nice. Kelly said, I love this spoiler. Can't see it till tomorrow on Peacock. Had to see what was going on because I can't wait. Well, I'm going to tell it if don't nobody tell it. Okay? Kelly say nothing Giselle said made any sense. A cast member deserves to be assaulted because she don't like her. Right. That let you know the type of tramp she is. Child, Giselle ain't nothing but an old trollop, and an old trollop at that. And she's so tacky and classless. The way she sat there and told Andy, if you ain't slept with a woman by 60, I'll do it. And then sitting up talking about that young boy that they did some prepping. Ugh. No, and Candiance said, ew. I wanted somebody to go, ugh. Yeah, Candiance is handling them heifers. She is, honey. She came prepared for the foolishness. And so she basically cleared and told the girl, it's been 6 months. You'd have been in my face. You had every opportunity, but you waited till the cameras came on. And Wendy was in the amen corner as she should have been. So now, then Mia jumped in, steady trying to talk about, you just need to own that your husband did something to your friend that was inappropriate. And even Giselle was like, he didn't do that. Nothing was inappropriate. So I'm sitting there like, okay, so even the person you trying to cap for is saying it wasn't inappropriate. Mia, just shut up next time. Oh, you fixed it, girl. You got your clothes on. She ain't naked no more, y'all. She ain't naked no more. Tia Baller say, Gizzard has no character for how she acts toward Wendy, just an evil woman. What she needs to do is go ahead and just admit, yes, Robyn was gross talking about she finna go change her tampon. Like, why are you announcing that? I feel like she does that stuff because she needs to prove to people that you a girl. Like, we know you look like a man, but we know you a girl. You had them children. You don't have to constantly talk about your lady parts and periods and tampons and stuff. Like, we get it. Giselle is classless and Lil Robert is worse. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. That's the only word I got for them two. Classless, crass, uncouth hookers. Hey, Rashika. There go my cuz. Hey, DV. But yeah, so that happened. Bubblicious Janae, what's up? Say Giselle need to be fired. And I felt like that since before the night. Girl, we all feel like that. Listen, this is a moment where we can all hold hands and agree. I think everybody in here almost want her gone. We just know that Andy and them still cloaking for her and they're not going to let her out. Don D say, and being politically correct, it could be said rings made Andy feel uncomfortable and we seen the footage. Yes, you got a few million witnesses to it. Okay, Southern Charm say, OMG, I didn't hear that. I thought she was going to tinker. No, that hoe said, I gotta go change my tampon. Like, ooh, sweet Lord. Ain't nobody never said they wanted to hear no varsity quarterback change their tampon. Like, girl, go do that quietly. You sure did, cuz. You sure did. Her nasty self. I'm sick of her. That's right. And shout out to the viewers for applying pressure, because you know, had it not been for that, Andy wouldn't even been asking the questions he was asking. Andy make me sick with that cloaking for them rabbit whores. It's disgusting. What you say, the Robert voice, that's how she do it. I gotta go change my tampon. Sounded like you going to get a prostate exam. Stop it. But anyway, then we get to the whole segment about Ashley friend Deborah. Y'all know Deborah. Yeah, y'all know Deborah. That's everybody's chick. That's that girl that literally looked like everybody. She looked like everybody. But what she didn't look like was a woman that Chris Bassett was trying to holler at. She sure didn't look like a woman that Eddie Osefo was trying to holler at. But she do look like, everybody. That's all I can say. She looked like everybody. I have never heard one accusation of who she looked like that didn't fit. Everybody from George Foreman to David Allen Greer to the dragon from Mulan, the thing from Dragon Ball Z. She looked like everybody. But, they brought that up and they asked Kristen Butler. That's right, Deborah. Good old Deborah, honey. And they brought up the fact that, hey, Ashley, how did you feel about the fact that we looking at the footage and that man ain't said nothing to her? He wasn't looking at her like, oh, and Ashley talking about, I was surprised because she always been a truthful person. You's a lie. You the one brought that girl there and told her to lie. You told her to lie. That's what happened. You told that girl to lie and she got caught out there and everybody figured out that she looked like everybody. Not that that's just what it was. Yes, Southern Charm, she do look like the Geico caveman. Okay. Now, Edwin Pena say not Giselle telling Wendy she's unlike, but Giselle keep living in her delusions, not her being the epitome of complete trash. Well, who else would she be? Who else would she be? And so, anywho, she said that the girl said that what his mouth didn't line up with what he actually said. That was production. So now Deborah, according to Ashley, Deborah is saying that y'all is basically that y'all were that production was cloaking for Chris. That production was helping Chris out. But production can't make him look at you, talk to you, slide close to you. Because what we saw on that camera, that man wasn't nowhere near you. And it was people in between y'all. So how in the hell did he do all this to you with all them people in between y'all? Even if you want to say his mouth was moving like the old karate movies. Y'all remember them movies where they finish talking and the lips keep going? Even if she want to say that, that don't explain why that man wasn't looking at you. You spoke to him first. He looked up and responded to you. We saw that. We saw that. Ashley, you wasn't surprised. You wasn't surprised because you the ones put that girl up there to do it, and you know how that girl looked. And the fact that you know how she looked and you told her to do that, you really set your friend up. Ashley is not a good friend. Ashley is not a good friend. If I had a friend that looked like Riff Raff / the Geico caveman / everybody, I wouldn't have told her to get on no show and say that people husbands was just so lustful for her. Like, it's not even believable. Just stop it. What the hell kind of fetish would these men have to be trying to holler at her? After all, we saw Deborah's husband. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave it at that, but we saw him. And we talked about it over here on this porch. Allure say Deborah's eyes was as cocked as a crow. a crawfish thinking he was looking at her. Yes, girl, cocked like a pistol, talking about something he was looking. He was looking. Nadu say she showed no emotions as she telling her story about the surgery. Talking about Giselle, child, she's so full of it. She was trying to pretend to be emotional and she couldn't even fake the emotion on her face. This girl is so pitiful. She's so pitiful. That's all I can say. LaGina the Jackson, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, I don't think I can watch next season. Well, the jury's still out for me. It's still out. I'm going to see if they still got little Robert there, and then we'll make a decision after that. Hey, that's true, girl. Lel say, we did. OMG, I missed that. What did the Dirty Bubbles husband look like? He looked like he was ready to lip sync for his life. And you'll catch that. Cover girl, put some bass in your walk. Like, yes, honey. He looked like, he looked more ladylike than her. Now I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it there. You say her kids were laughing on camera. Oh, talking about Giselle children? Yes. But by the time she told it, they were so toe up and scared. They were so scared. Alice say Giselle must have took acting lessons from Amber Heard. Girl, get out of here. What am I going to do with you? Amber Heard was messing up like that too. Say, okay, Giselle and Robyn saying that they don't like Wendy is not the read they think it is. Right. It's Ufoma. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sharon, what Sharon McBride say? Bert from Sesame Street? Yep, she looked like him too. She looked like everybody. Rayanne say, if Robyn and Giselle back next season, I'm done. Well, you may as well be done, because even if they get rid of Robert, you know they're not finna get rid of Giselle's lying, trifling, nasty tail. She do all they dirty work, y'all. Y'all can't see that she be doing them people dirty work. I'm for real. Like, literally, this lady is disgusting. Whatever them people tell her to do, she do it. She don't have no morals, no values, no scruples, no nothing. She's a real trash box. Hey, Destiny. So anyway, that's when I felt like, and Andy did say that whole Happy Eddie thing was a whole reach, and it was. A man smiled at you, so he wants you. Stop it. And did y'all notice how quiet Ashley was during that segment? Why were you not defending your friend better than that? Like, people literally turn your unattractive friend with the Sesame Street twinkle in her eye into a joke and a afterthought. And you didn't say nothing to defend your friend. She looked like the crows from the Wizard of Oz. Yep, that too. She looked like Joe Jackson. She really do. That's so true. Now, you know, I done told y'all, why y'all disrespect Jezebel name like that? Now, go back and read y'all Bible. Jezebel was an overachiever. Giselle is useless. She ain't achieved nothing. Jezebel went and married one of her own kinfolks who was the king, took over, ran him, chased the whole prophet out the kingdom. This lady she was an achiever. She was trifling, but she was the queen of the trifling people. Giselle ain't got that kind of oomph. She can't measure up to Jezebel. Don't disrespect Jezebel like that. Put some respect on her name. Now, the lady died bad enough. Y'all ain't got to try to diminish her legacy by comparing her with the likes of the Lord of the Rings. Don't do her like that. Don't do Jezebel like that. Girl, shout out to you. I know you in hell, but shout out to you. LJ forever say Giselle is losing Massa Andy's favor. She tried to pull up an old nasty Betty Davis, I'll tell you later, and Andy said, no, you'll tell me now. He did do that. I think Andy trying to play tough to save her, because he know if he don't play like he holding her accountable, that y'all gonna run him and everybody out of there. And they still want to keep that girl there. I'm telling y'all, they playing in y'all face. That's right. Giselle is the bottom of the barrel. Don't try Jezebel like that, honey. She did it best. Brian say, I want to see Giselle sit on the island by herself next season. What would she do on the island by herself? What would she do? Destiny say them first ladies be shepherds for the devil sometimes. She's always giving that vibe. That's true. That's true. That's right. And they ain't gonna never say nothing to get rid of Gizzard. Never. Never. That gutter snipe is on the payroll. Es, thank you so much for the super chat. Boo, I appreciate you. You say, what was Mia on tonight? Child, the same dope she been on all season. That's what she on. But listen, so let's get to, they get to this whole thing about Candiace's Instagram live, where little Robert brought that same speaker that she had in that bathroom and put it on that dinner table where them people was eating. See, I'm telling y'all, this heifer, it's bad enough that she don't like to bathe, y'all. That's bad enough. But the idea that you don't like to bathe, but you got the audacity, the unmitigated gall to bring your things that you don't touch, you've been around while you was touching on your unwashed body, and put it on somebody's dinner table and play part of that Instagram live. Now, Andy really been watching social media, and y'all got to reach around and pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourselves on the back. Y'all did this to these people. I want the viewers should know and understand, you all are responsible for the reunion you're getting this year. The fact that Andy is actually asking questions from the viewers, that even the ones that don't make sense, the ones that he wouldn't normally ask, it's because of y'all. The fact that he's actually like even pretending to hold Giselle feet to the fire, that's because of y'all. And when they had the colorism segment of 2 to 3 to 4 minutes, which we gonna drag them all for, in my opinion, that's because of y'all, because they said because of audience feedback, overwhelming audience feedback. Okay, so the bottom line is that you all made this happen. Y'all made this happen. So, pat yourselves on the back. This is y'all handiwork. Okay? Yes, they really are paying attention to social media. So Andy was like, he pointed out the fact that, hey, Robyn, she actually said some good stuff about your business. And Candiance was like, yeah, a lot of good things about her business, which she did. That ain't nothing but the truth. Okay? That's right, Dr. J. Cell phones on the dinner table like you ain't been in the bathroom taking a poop with that same phone. It's just nasty. It's just nasty. So anyway, that being said, Robert didn't have nothing to say for herself. All she could say was, it was just a clip. Somebody sent me the clip. But did y'all notice how quick she told that lie and then flipped and told a different lie? So first she said somebody sent her the clip. Y'all heard that, right? Then she turned around and she said, well, it was a blog. It was on a blog. Girl, if it was it on a blog or somebody sent you the clip, Lil Robert? Which one? Which one? Did somebody send you the clip or was it on a blog? Because at the end of the day, Lil Robert, you lying. You lying. You literally played a portion of that lie. And you know how I know it was some bull? Because how is it that this clip just magically only had now the segment up until right before she gave Robert her props? Explain that. You know what I'm saying? That was contrived. And I'm looking at Candiance like, girl, you either boo-boo the fool like these people treating you or you slow. And I refuse to believe that she's slow. I simply refuse to believe it. Because at the end of the day, Candiance has proven more times than not that she's incredibly intelligent. So there's no way that your silly tail really believe that she got a clip that just magically cut off 1 second before you gave her props and said you would support her business and that you wear her hats and they're dope and you wear them all the time. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Angel say Giselle sent that clip. Let's be real. Thank you. Yeah, on the show, she said she was taking a dump listening to it, then brought it in there to the darn table and sit where people got to eat. Robyn nasty. Hey, Betty. Betty say Ashley friend looked like a miniature Joe Jackson and Hannibal from Clash of the Titans. Yes, she do. I can't dispute none of it. She do. She do. Child. So anyway, that happened after the lie got told, and she claimed she was in her feelings. And why are you upset? Now, this right here was the shot heard around the world. I don't care what nobody say. Talking about why you upset if it was on camera. Because Candiance said, if you was my friend, if you seen that, you should have automatically felt like I wasn't talking about you and been like, girl, who you talking about? But instead, you did it on camera. She was like, yeah, and she told her, she said, you tried to shame me and you embarrassed yourself. You thought you was embarrassing me, but you embarrassed yourself, which she did because everybody already knew that the girl had said favorable things about you. So you really embarrassed yourself trying to embarrass Candiance. And it was obvious. It was obvious in my opinion. Extremely obvious. Okay. But anyway, then this is the shot. And I know y'all ready for it. She talking about everything we do. This is a reality show. And all of us here, everything we do should happen on camera. And then production quickly showed that comment did not age well. That just 2 weeks later, here you was trying to explain and talking about you didn't understand why Candiance was upset with you. Candiance was upset with you because y'all had filmed that reunion and you had made that statement to her that everything should happen on camera. And then you sat up there and made sure that yours didn't happen on camera, so much so that you took part in them lying on their girl husband to make sure that your stuff didn't happen on camera. Now that's what you did. That's what you did. See, Lil Robert is nasty. That was the shot heard around the world. Everything we do, everything that happens should be on camera. All right now. Now a viewer, ask the question. That's why I say even the silly questions got in this time. Wanted to know about, why Candiance didn't say she looked up to Wendy more than Robyn or whatever. And Candiance was like, ain't no competition or whatever like that. But Wendy did address Candiace's comment about she thought Robert was the most loyal and said that she asked her, is this the person that you say is the most loyal to you? Okay, then we get this lunch break. And that was when Lil Robert jumped up announcing that he was going to change a tampon. At this point, I don't even believe you. I mean, the lies are too much. Wendy up there telling Eddie about Mia bringing up his name 3 times, which she did, sitting there talking about your opportunist husband. First of all, I find it funny. Wendy ain't said nothing nasty about your husband. So why you talking about Eddie talking about he an opportunist? Girl, it sounds like jealousy to me. It sounds like jealousy because Wendy don't have to bring extra women to her bedroom to make it work. Now that's what it sounds like to me. Okay. Then G walked in, greeted everybody, but he said he ain't hugging nobody. He don't want no smoke. He ain't finna hug none of y'all because he know people get lied on around there, and G say he ain't with it. I say go ahead on Uncle G because you right. You sure right, because you hug anybody, they gonna turn around and say that you wanted them, you was trying to get with them, and everybody else that don't believe them is hating and no. So Uncle G said no, it wasn't going down like that. And anyway, then we get to the Giselle segment, which I find interesting because this is the person that producers want to hang on to more than anything, simply because she's willing to lie on people. She's willing to go low. She's willing to be dirty because that's just who she is. I mean, let's just call the thing a thing. Giselle is dirty as a swamp rat. Like, that's really just who this whore is. Okay. Now, this is y'all girl. Y'all give her the first seat every reunion, even though she has consistently not had a storyline, even though she has been consistently dishonest, elusive, and non-interesting. You give her that seat, but then her segment is the shortest one on the show. What we gonna talk about? The Sweet 16 and the live show with the 30 people that showed up? Is that what we got? And they showed her how my house is coming together. And that clip with Karen say, well, I like the chandelier, was that to me that was the icing on the doggone cake. Okay, hey, keep it simple TV. Say, but didn't G want Karen? He did. He said that, and he gave us all indigestion when he was air humping and licking his tongue out. Maybe he wasn't drinking tonight, and I'm grateful, girl. I'm grateful because Uncle G gave me the heebie-jeebies when he went to hunt when he went to hump in the air. When Uncle G went to hump in the air, scared me. I was not ready. So anyway, that happened, right? The chandelier, she said the show was blowing up. Then they cut to the scene of them showing the auditorium with them 30 people, because I was gonna give them 50 people. Y'all said it was 30, so I'm gonna stick with the 30, with the dirty 30. However, if I'm being honest, I think I counted 32. I think I did. Then she went to the talking about her hysterectomy, and she was dating 3 men, and then the guy Steve she been knowing for 30 years, and then apparently they done released, I think they said 80 episodes of that sad podcast that they now in litigation over the name with Eminem. And the dirty comment about her saying the man got to make her laugh and have a large member. She's just trashy. Like, literally, what's sad is that's really all we really got for her this whole season, if we being honest. Now they got to Karen with the viewer questions. I like that Karen went ahead and addressed this candle mess. The fact that people still reaching with that is pitiful, and it gives more evidence and credence to the fact that Karen pretty much handles herself real well. That people have to reach to, she's sleeping with men in the bathroom and a candle. So I'm glad she cleared it up and brought out the fact that when she first brought out LaDom 4 years ago, that she announced then that candles were coming. So with that being said, it is what it is. And she mentioned her variety show because they were trying to ask during the Giselle segment, did you copy Robyn and Rings, the Lord of the Rings and Little Robert? She said no. And she did a variety show, and Andy asked, was it modeled after one other person's variety show? And she said no, it was after Carol Burnett. Okay. And I'm glad that she pointed him out for being shady, because he was like, what about Wendy Williams? She was like, she got the idea from talking to Wendy, but that don't mean she modeled her show after Wendy. Wendy Williams doesn't have a variety show. So, Andy tried it, but Andy always tries it. I'm gonna leave it there. So they were talking about the LaDoms, and Giselle tried to jump in because I guess she felt like Karen was getting too much shine. But Karen's more interesting than you. And even doing your segment, the viewer had to ask a question that included Karen because you gave nothing. Gave nothing. Hey, Sharice Williams. Hey, Dialogue Sisters. Say Giselle shared more at the reunion than she shared all season. She did. She did. Southern Charm say all them Louisiana men gizzard dates are corny looking, mothball smelling, and no swag. Oh, wow. Tell them how you really feel, sis. Say, who would want to be the Robins? Child, when he said, who would the Robins be? And Karen said, boring, I was through. And now Karen threw some heavy shade at Robyn and Rings. She did. I don't know if y'all caught it. Right. When that candle debacle is dead, Wendy don't care who came up with it first. It just don't matter. Hey, I'm that girl. Sherry said her biggest storyline was surgery. It was hurtful how she continued to say she don't like Wendy. That was so immature and childlike. I used to like Giselle. Yeah, she is immature and childlike. She's real petulant and pitiful. Ed says at least Karen is trying to offer products and services. Giselle just offers mess and lies. Don't forget the lies. Because she say the lies on deck, honey. Any lie you want, she got it. Hey, Sharice Williams. So, wait a minute. Kelly, what you say? I think they jealous because Karen had her own show about her family. I think that, but but even before Karen had the show, they always acted like they were so bothered by Karen. They were so bothered. And then this year we find out that they were so super duper bothered by Karen because Sharice didn't bring Karen on. Karen had the connections to get on. She didn't have to come on through Big Reese. And I think that's one of the biggest things that they made about. Yes, Abigail, I didn't know that heifer had a sister either. I didn't know she had a sister. Tonight we heard about the sister, and the sister was getting updates, and they stopped getting updates, and they thought she was going to die and all that. And I wasn't interested. I ain't going to lie. Talking about the surgery ended up lasting 8.5 hours. Well, you're not dead because we looking at you. So, that is what it is. But where Karen thought that real shade was when she said my 300 person sold out show. I bet you when I say the LaDom stand up, they'll stand up. I say, I know that's right. Now, I think the other jealous, the biggest point, bone of contention for Giselle on this show where Karen is concerned is that Karen became a fan favorite and she became the person that people love to hate. And she became the person that people are sick of. She became the person that folks want to see fight almost more than anybody. And I think that really bothers her. It doesn't help her that production wants to keep her there. She's mad because the fans want Karen there. That's what I think she really hates that. Hey, Lena, pretty brown eyes. That's all right, girl. Ain't nothing wrong with being late. But yeah, she did the whole fake emotional thing, and we'll talk about it later. And it was like, no, we're going to talk about it now. That's when we started hearing about this sister that we never met. And her urinary retention and the bladder having to have a catheter and spent the night at the hospital. Like, girl, bye. So anyway, then Andy brought up the fact that y'all been saying, I'm saying y'all because y'all was doing it now. Y'all was doing it. Y'all said she don't bring nothing. And Andy was like, hey, what do you say to the fact that people saying you ain't, you really elusive and you don't tell us nothing about your life. We don't know nothing about you. And he should have said, case in point, ain't nobody even know you had no sister. Period. We don't know nothing about you other than you nasty and you tell lies. And we heard them rumors about you popping coochie while you was in college and stuff. But we don't know nothing else about you, girl. And so she was like, it's not true. I do tell stuff. They just don't film it. No, baby, you don't tell nothing. And then she tried to flip it. Now, see, this is where hey, Jen Jones, this is where her and Robert always mess up. They tell one lie, and if they keep talking, they tell another lie that contradict the first lie they told. Now check it. First is, it's not true. I tell it. Production just don't film it, right? Then right after that, she says, well, I'm just not going to sit with people I don't like and talk about my business. Well, is it that you tell it and they don't film it, or you don't talk about it because you don't like the people? Which one is it? So Andy basically called out her hypocrisy or whatever. And Karen, Mia, and Candiance, all of them was over there saying amen, because she do demand to know other people's business. She even used the word demand this season, but she gonna sit there. That's not true. Oh, that's true. Oh, it's true. Sure enough, it's true. So that was interesting. Then Andy asked her about that strange, funny looking yellow man with the bald head, Steve, and asked if she was still seeing him. And she was like, I mean, he still come around. I see him when he come to town, but I don't ask him to come to town. And so that's when he asked about the young boy, and she was like, well, he asked when can he come to town. And apparently it's a 16-year age difference, and she didn't want to talk about it. Talking about, I ain't no mathematician, but Andy called out that boy age. Okay. That's when they made that nasty comment about the reunion prep. And Candiance said, my man, she said ill, because that was an ill moment. Okay. So then we get to Wendy and her kidney stone and the lounge situation. And we went to where it went. Like, they literally tried to derail this lady, but they gave her the center stage this season by having her assaulted by that large Hispanic gentleman named Mia. Okay. Now, Ashley tried to talk her out of the lounge, they say. She talked with Candiance about it, say, and according to Wendy, Candiance and Ashley was like, don't do that, leave that alone. So Andy asked Mia, what's your relationship with Peter? And so she re-explained what we heard on the season, that they was friends because he was going with somebody that her and G used to mess with. Okay? Now, that's just what it was. Now, Andy said basically what we all said. Wendy didn't do nothing. Like, what did you throw the drink for? You was asking her about something. She said she wasn't interested in talking. And hey, young V, and you threw a drink. Like, the girl ain't did nothing. So Mia went to line. Well, I mean, she was talking about what I wasn't talking about. I'm talking about business, and she talking about. Girl, no, none of that happened. You were trying to talk. She wasn't interested. You felt dismissed, and you threw that drink. You assaulted that lady. Period. Candiance chimed in, and she kept the timeline straight. Because it's nothing I dislike more than somebody that's full of crap, but they try to like get around you by stating a bunch of random stuff that's not true and don't have nothing to do with nothing. Candiance brought it right back to the table. No, ma'am, that is not what happened. You tried to talk to her about that. She said, if he got beef, talk to my husband. You threw a drink, and then she went off on you in response to that. She wasn't going off on you when you assaulted her with that drink. You did that because you did that. Okay? And Wendy flat out said, girl, you assaulted me. You assaulted me. Yes, something's wrong with that whore. Because we saw the clip again tonight where she said, I'm sorry, I didn't sleep at all that night. I shouldn't have did that. Then she get on the show. So what? So what? Girl, listen. You better be glad that lady wants to protect her image, because I believe Wendy would have took off on you and it would have been over. It would have been all over but the crying, honey. So anyway, that's when she told that lie. Oh, you slept with Peter. I got receipts. And she pulled the Robyn and rings. First, she said she had receipts. Then she said, well, they went out to dinner before we got here. They had went out to dinner. They was at Bar 1 in Baltimore, and it's on the camera. So they went out to dinner on camera. And Andy asked the $1 million question. He said, well, was the cookie on camera? Did they share the cookie on camera? Because at the restaurant, was it at dinner? Did they share the cookie at dinner? So she really had nothing. She just said something nasty. And Candiance had a good point. Candiance had a very good point. Yes, and she threw the purse and the phone too. She threw the purse and the phone. And broke her nails, beating her own tail. But Candiance had a point. You can't just sit up and tell lies because you don't have nothing to say. But what was more disgusting during that segment when Mia was telling her lies was Robert sitting over there going, hoo, 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 hoo. Girl, she telling lies about who this girl hunching. But can we talk about who Juan hunching for real? Because we know it ain't you. We know it ain't you, Vera. Y'all know that's Vera DeMilo from In Living Color. The boy girl bodybuilder that Jim Carrey used to play. You know you Vera DeMilo. So while you laughing about somebody lying about who hunching who, girl, can you tell us who Juan is hunching? Because we want to know. I'm speaking for everybody. We want to know. Because we know it ain't you. We know it ain't you. You probably got to pop something in that hole to keep it open. That man ain't went nowhere near there. Nowhere near. At all. Period. It ain't happened. Okay? So anyway, we get past that. But I don't want to get past that too quick. Because before we get to the antagonist part of the conversation, Mia has completely declassed the show. But this is the second sexual lie that Mia has told on Dr. Wendy Osefo. First, she lied and said the lady was trying to get with her and kissing on her and bumping cooches with her, and she want me. Lies. Then when they get to the party for Candiance, and Wendy told it like it was, her story didn't change. Girl, you was the one in my ear talking about I want to eat your box, and Ashley said, yeah, that's true. You said that. So now here we are on this stage again. You telling most sexual lies. Now, well, let me lie and say it. Let me try to put this lie out that she was screwing Peter. Let me try that. Now, what she need to do is stop, because Peter Thomas ain't exactly a gentleman, and he might cuss you out. I'm looking for Peter to be online in a minute, because I know he don't really like his name and stuff, and y'all be lying. So we gonna see how that works out for you, Mia. You know what I'm saying? You better hope he don't mistake you for a dude and swing on you. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the viewer asked about how Wendy was an antagonist after she was assaulted. Andy brought up the umbrella scene, and he was like, you know, how would you react if somebody threw a drink on you? And she was like, I'm not sure how I would react. And Andy was like, I'm sure it wouldn't be good. And that's when he brought up that umbrella scene with Monique, right? And so, and she was like, well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you know, talking in circles. You know how she do. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. And so Karen brought up the fact that you say she's an antagonist, but you sitting up there recording her saying fight or shut up. And she's like, no, I want to address that. I'm just saying, like I said, you know, if you're going to fight, fight. If you're not going to fight, then sit down and stop. Because, you know, I didn't want to see her fight on camera. You know what I'm saying? And she tried that bull crap, and that wasn't working. Because it was like, hey, bottom line, the girl was assaulted twice. She claimed she wasn't justifying it, but then tried to blame Karen. Well, I hate Cecilia talking about, you know, Karen should have been the one to diffuse the situation. And Karen stopped. It was like, girl, don't bring me into your mess. She said gaslighting, but she really meant throwing gas. Her and Andy went back and forth with that. But it was the fact that, hey, you were justifying it by calling her an antagonist. You even got up with that horrible, with that god-awful Drek. Shout out to Andre Leon Talley. You got up with that Drek outfit with those dreadful ruffles and marched your behind out there looking like the nature boy, woo, Ric Flair, and told Mia, well, she was antagonizing you. You were literally giving this girl excuses for assaulting that black woman. That's what you did. She was antagonizing you. You gave her exactly what she wanted. That was you, nature boy. Hey, Karen Denby. Hey, Dana Cutler. That's what you did, shrimp. Then the viewer brought up the fact that she said that Big Reese didn't have to hold her back. And they was like, but you did, and you was being aggressive. And so she tried to lie again, talking about, well, I didn't say she didn't hold me back. I said she didn't have to. No, whore. You called her, and what you said was, Sharice, did you have to put one finger on me? And Sharice paused to figure out what lie she was supposed to tell. And she said, no, I didn't. She did put more. She put more than one finger on you. Oh, and those were some meaty fingers they were. She put the hand on you, and when that wasn't enough, she stood up to hold your bull raging in a china shop tail back. You big brazen fella, you. Easy, big fella. Just charging at that poor black woman sitting over there. She's sitting down talking. And like Wendy said, you was being aggressive. I'm sitting down, you come charging toward me, anything can happen. And even Andy said that's true. If you got up now and went charging towards somebody, I would feel like, hey, this is dangerous. You aggressive. You just don't like to be called aggressive because you thought your complexion would exempt you from words, from adjectives that actually apply. That's what you thought. Michael Morris say they seriously putting Karen in the same position as what happened to Candiance and Monique. They trying to mischaracterize Karen so badly, like they did in season 5, as she's a bad friend. They tried it. She didn't have to diffuse, but what I didn't like was Karen Huger sitting up talking about two wrongs don't make a right. Well, who the hell was wrong? Yes, Robert is too aggressive. It's all that testosterone. And yes, those were some very meaty fingers. Beefy. But anyway, got past that. Then they get to Ashley and they was talking about, that it called her on the carpet. Like, hey, you sat up here, you defended Monique all the way to court. You wrote a letter for her or whatever to the courthouse. If you wanted to do it, you did it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just own it. But they said that it was different this time and you didn't do that. You didn't support the person who was aggressive. Why she needed to support the aggressor, I don't know. Y'all didn't like us supporting who y'all called the aggressor last time. I don't see it. I still don't see it. Candiance and Monique got into mutual combat, as the people say, and one person got their wig shifted, and the other one was trying to get a hold to her to do some more. Now that's what happened. I didn't see a clear victim and aggressor. This time there was a clear victim and a clear aggressor because Wendy was not participating in any rah-rah session. She was not arguing back and forth. She was not waving hands in nobody's face. She wasn't saying, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Drag me if I don't take my hand. Ain't none of that went on. Wendy was sitting up there eating her food, looking cute, minding her business. And this heifer threw a drink at her because she wouldn't go along with her plan to make Wendy her storyline. Now that's just what happened. But so Ashley was like, look, all y'all jumped on and attacked Monique and to she was a disgrace to black womanhood and this and that. And she's right. She said, but at the same time, Wendy was a victim. Y'all did not support her. Not one of y'all went to check on her, and nobody held Mia accountable. And that was nothing but the God, heaven truth. And Ashley might be who she is. Yes, she does have a strong resemblance to Pennywise the Clown. Yes, she is a trifling, lot lizard-looking heifer. But in that regard, baby, even a broke clock is right twice a day. And even the sun shines on a dog's anus sometimes. And she was right. She ain't told now lie. Ain't now one of them heifers, Karen included, went to go check on Wendy. Now, Wendy might have had some backup if Candiance had been there, but she was not. And that might have been a blessing because y'all know Candiance like to do too much. She get wound up and everything goes left. But at that particular moment, Ashley was the only person. Hey, I am Country Michelle. Ashley was the only person that went to go and check on Wendy, who was the victim of assault by that large Hispanic gentleman that y'all like to call Mia Thornton. Okay? Now, Andy, he pointed out that Giselle was a hypocrite. And the fact that you was all over Monique and this time Mia ain't no disgrace. Mia ain't dangerous. None of those things. And she was like, it's different this time because Candiance got beat up and I don't like her. And it's like, girl, please. And I like that Candiance pointed out, girl, that speaks to your character. And it was like, hey, you say you felt uncomfortable. This lady was assaulted. Like you're not taking into account what she feels. And that's when she threw her, I don't like her. Girl, it don't matter whether you like somebody or not. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Sitting up there dressed like a pimp cup. Sounding ridiculous. Wendy almost cried. Now, I didn't like that. But them her feelings, I wish she could have not did it on camera. But I understand those are her feelings. They valid. And if she felt comfortable to share them with those people who are not genuine with her, I respect it. I just wish she hadn't. And she was like, what y'all, what happened to me was effed up. She said, I try to be strong or whatever, but what happened to me was effed up. Okay. Okay. And and she said that how she was treated in the group was effed up. Because how they handled her in that group, it was messed up. Period, point blank. Hey, Christina Miller. It was messed up how they treated her in that group. And she told the girl flat out, girl, you violated me. Okay, you violated me. Period, point blank. You assaulted that woman. It ain't no way around it. And I saw that, that's when they did the little commercial break before they came back to do the little colorism skit. Because that was a skit, in my opinion, or a sketch or something. You saw Jackie in the back talking about she want to talk about what Mia said about her on the internet and say Mia was talking about her children. I don't know if I believe Mia was talking about her children. I'm not interested in her or Mia. I think it might get interesting later. But at the same time, they both liars, so we'll see. But come back to this colorism sketch. Okay. Now, Andy claimed there wasn't no moderator because the cast said they didn't want a moderator, right? And I'm sure the most of the cast didn't want no moderator because they didn't want they didn't want to have an actual black woman sit there and keep it real with them. And they knew it was nobody they could bring in that was gonna soft pad it, and we the viewers were gonna be okay with it. So he was smart enough to say, because he saw what y'all said online, that he shouldn't be leading that conversation, that he need to sit back, listen, and learn, because he ain't in no position as no white male to have this conversation, which he's not. That's fair. So Candiance said basically like, look, she says she don't think the cast themselves are colorists, but that colorism does rear its ugly head. That's what she said. That she went with the definition of it, which we all know what it is, and everybody agreed that is it is actually the definition. Okay, right, Young V? They ain't want to call out. That's what it was. They didn't want to call out. Adrian said that colorism conversation was a completely missed opportunity to address the way Team Yellow treats Candiance and Wendy. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Michael Morris said if they had a moderator, you think that Andy would have brought back Nicki to host the colorist? They can't, because Nicki Minaj colorist. You know what I'm saying? She has exhibited colorist behavior. She has. Now, that's whether you love her or hate her, she has. So she definitely couldn't have had that conversation. They would have had to bring in somebody who was intelligent enough and had the depth to hold that conversation. And in order to do that, there would have been no way to save Team Yellow. Team Yellow would have been slaughtered. Team Yellow would have been slaughtered. Yeah, that's right, Edwin. That was a lousy attempt to address real issues. And it was an insult to our intelligence as viewers, and it was an insult to our intelligence as black women. In other words, get away from me with this mess, Apollo. Nacho Twins mama say, is this where Candiance, this is where Candiance loses me? The heifer twerks on the fence too much. Yes, she does. And y'all know I've said it before. It's very difficult to talk about racial issues with your full chest and go sleep next to somebody who don't look nothing like you, because that person is going to always want you to soften the blow. That person is going to always want you to soften the blow, because if you come too real, too hard, too black, they going to feel attacked. And that's just what it is. And I stand on that. Put it on my tombstone. I said it. You can sleep with who you want to. Hey, Jasmine, but understand that your talking points and your delivery loses just a little bit of something when you can't say it with your full chest, and she cannot. And she proves it. Because every time she has an opportunity to say it with her full chest, she backs down like a scared chihuahua. And that's what she did tonight. Oh, I don't think the cast is colorist, but colorism does rear its ugly head. And she was like, like the fact that I'm aggressive, I yell, I scream, whatever I get. Not aggressive, I'm emotional, I yell, I scream, all these emotional outbursts and stuff that I have when I get upset. And then she point out the fact that Robyn has done plenty of aggressive stuff and that she doesn't get called aggressive for it, which is the truth. We've all seen it. We've all watched it. Some of you have lived it in your own everyday lives. It is just the doggone fact. It's the fact. Legina says she can come correct. Chris can handle it. Her relationship has colorism. She can't come correct though, because we've seen Chris try to put her on a leash so that she don't even talk back to Team Yellow. We saw him turn on her last season against Ashley when Ashley brought up some old stuff from social media and didn't even tell it right. He running around there treating her like, like it's his plantation and she just stay there, even though she the one paying for the big house. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let it go because y'all know he dusty. Y'all know he does stay. I ain't got to relive it. But then Giselle jumped in playing dumb. I mean, what does you being emotional have to do with this? What did you? And I'm sitting there like, you're such an idiot. You're such an empty, airheaded idiot. You heard what she said and you understood it. Wendy jumped in to say basically, Candiance, I understood what you said. Everything you said was perfectly clear. Okay. Karen even chimed in and was like, it takes, she talked about her background and her family and being very transparent and was just telling the truth that it takes a conscious effort not to take part in colorism because it has been indoctrinated into Black people. And until you are completely aware of it, you can have colorist attitudes and behaviors, and it can be something that is so indoctrinated that you don't even recognize why you show preference to one person over another. That was a very fair and intelligent conversation point from Karen. That was very intelligent, very mature, and that really covered what's really going on. Now, Ashley started off trying to be intentionally obtuse, but ended up saying, I don't think this and that, and this not fair. And Karen stopped and was like, girl, you need to acknowledge her experience. She's telling you what she felt. She's telling you what acknowledge her experience. So Ashley corrected and was like, you know what? I acknowledge my privilege. And I'm glad she did, because that's one thing that is so disgusting. When the privilege is there and you benefit from it, and then you turn around and pretend like it doesn't exist. And all these privileges that you have are somehow justly bestowed on you based on all of your what? All of your nothing. So Ashley did good acknowledging that. And I do like that Candiance and Wendy both let her know that, you know what, it means something. I appreciate that. Actually meant a lot. That was dynamic. It went a long way that you acknowledge your freaking privilege. Robert was at least smart enough to shut the hell up and sit her Ric Flair looking tail quiet on that couch with that Christmas tinsel hot glued to the front of that ugly dress. But Giselle was the only person that was stupid enough to jump in, being intentionally dumb, trying to derail a conversation that she participates in more than almost anybody on that cast. She is intentionally and vilely colorist. And she really had her slip hanging. The fact that you tried to jump in and play dumb, you literally told on yourself. You told on yourself. At least with Ashley playing dumb and then saying, you know what, you're right. Let me go ahead and own that I do have privilege, and I acknowledge that. It makes it look less like she's intentionally trying to participate and enforce these sicknesses that are a part of our community. But the fact that you, Giselle, you, the Lord of the Rings herself, sat up there and tried to derail the conversation, sugar, you told on yourself. You told on yourself, because if it wasn't intentional, you would not have felt the need to be defensive and jump in and try to derail a conversation that wasn't even a real conversation. It was just a skit. And the fact that Wendy and Candiance sat their beautiful selves up on that stage, Candiance soft patting, Wendy pitter patting, and neither one of them didn't come on with the come on. They so busy trying to be accepted that they can't ever just be 100% Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Never. Never. All I'm going to say, it's a reason why they only choose certain types of Black women to be on television. They don't want the real strong, the real Black, because they know that'll be a real problem. But I digress. I'm going to let it go. Okay. Evelyn, no, Ashley wasn't necessarily being sincere, but I appreciate the fact that she stopped trying to hide from it and went ahead and just ate that. Southern Charm said, I think Gizzard Brown babies know their mama is colorist. Watch how they look at her. Yeah, I'm sure they know. They know that heifer. They live with her. Hey, Nene Ashley. Jasmine said, you can tell Giselle runs away from the Blackness. You can tell by the baby's hair. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Honey, she running with good track shoes on. Good track shoes on. But that little colorism skit was actually an insult to our intelligence, and it was an insult to Black women everywhere. I said what I said, and I meant it. I'll say it again. Wendy talking about we got to be mindful of dog whistles. Who blowing the dog whistle? Now that's what really pissed me off with Wendy. Wendy Osefo, we just not starting to like you, sis. Be careful. Be careful. Because when somebody points out that they're seeing colorism, they pointing out what they're seeing. Ain't no goddamn dog whistles. Don't use broad and vague statements and sentiment if you want to talk about the fact that they're intentionally calling Black women aggressive while Team Yellow is just being silly or emotional or, oh, that's just Robyn, then you need to say that. Say it with your full chest. I'm like, really, between Wendy and Candiance, it's hard to be on their side. It is hard to stand behind them because of the things that they do. That their cowardice makes it difficult to stand beside them. Most of us sisters, you know, we're lionesses. So you expecting lionesses to stand behind two people who are acting like mice. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm just saying. It is what it is. They didn't do it. Michael say Wendy and Candiance came through with their part on this discussion. It's really trash how much privilege is on Bravo, especially with Kim Z, Ramona's comments, and the Shabbat dinner. Well, I got all that, but in my opinion, Wendy and Candiance, they didn't really come through. They said a little something, and they were still being afraid to open their mouths and act like sisters. Yeah, right. I know what you mean when you say that, Nacho Twins Mama. I know what you mean. I know, but what I'm saying, T Hutch, is say that. Say it with your chest. I'm going to give Candiance props for at least trying to make not a parallel, but to actually give an example of what took place and when it happened to her. And the fact that Wendy knew what she was talking about, say it. Just say it. Cecilia said a real Black woman would have went all the way and wouldn't justify themselves either. Exactly. And that's what I didn't like. Leslie Love said Atlanta will always stand 10 toes down. Yeah, that conversation would have went sideways if they'd have brought somebody from Team Yellow on there pulling them stunts. Because those some real sisters over there, whether we like them all or not. Them some real sisters over there. That conversation would have went a little bit different. Just a smidge. So then we get Jackie coming out, old tacky Jackie. She came out, sat by Wendy, spoke to everybody. Mia sat over there looking like alfalfa and making faces and trying to figure out, you know, why everybody being so friendly with Jackie. I'm sure she know why Wendy being friendly. And she says her first time seeing Mia since the show wrap. And that segment, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, but if I'm being real, I don't really care. I don't really care that much, but I'm gonna go and put the StreamYard out. So if anybody want to say what they want to say, y'all can say it. You know what I'm saying? Right? But she said, you know, when Andy asked them, you know, how they feel about what went on between them and, you know, like, did they expect it was going to be like this? Mia said it was disappointing. However, Jackie was like, oh, it was devastating. And to see her try to drag me beneath her like I'm a peasant. Mia said that Jackie needed too much support. So she said basically that, you know, that she didn't feel like Jackie did not support her. She felt like Jackie definitely was supportive to her. She said basically she was overwhelmed by how much support Jackie needed. And she felt like she wasn't finna be supporting Jackie, right? Jackie over here, oh, I gave you my sister. You ain't have that because you don't have no family support system. That's why I don't like Jackie. You keep bringing that up. My family took you in. You don't have no family support system. Girl, y'all did what y'all did, and now you feel like that girl owe you something. That's why I say both of these ladies are disgusting. I can't. And she said her family's disgusted with Mia. Mia said that they don't say it worse to each other, which I believe. I believe they say it worse because y'all could tell by their relationship on the show that they were not good friends to each other. You could tell they had a very adversarial relationship, but it was not just adversarial and toxic. And both of them would still be around each other because they were both getting something out of it. You know what I mean? And it was just too much. And Jackie up there talking about, oh yeah, that's what's wrong. You unhinged and you put my foreclosure information in the group chat and I got receipts. Your business in a shambles. I'm gonna bring them out. And the girl had already said that it ain't working out and they gotta try to, sell their way out of the business. So I'm like, receipts about that sounds silly. But then she got receipts, so it looked like receipt versus receipt. I don't know what's gonna happen, but they say next week it's gonna be a 90-minute finale. Hey, Randall. Right, and like I said, she need to go ahead and say that. I didn't like her. Oh, the dog whistle, girl. No, ain't no dog whistle. She need to say it with her chest and stop trying to get a pageant answer. Stop being politically correct and tell the truth about what these people doing to you. Stop being a coward. But it's gonna be a 90-minute finale. Okay, the men coming out. They showed a little bit more of the conversation with Uncle G, and he said he done messed with Mia friends, but it wasn't no penetration. He don't know that Mia already told that the night before the wedding, the girl that sung the solo at the wedding was over there puffing on Peter the night before. Just the night before. Right, DM Rocks. Jackie need to go with that, sitting up there with that dress from Ross. I ain't like that. And she had track hair in too, with that hard light colored streak in the front. That's because they literally did that little sad sew in, and they got that one track of 27 color number 27 hair and put it in there thinking it was a highlight. Highlights ain't that chunky. That was a sad track that y'all put in that girl head. Jackie don't need to be there. Now we already got Robyn and Rings up here giving poverty realness. We don't need Jackie. That's enough. That's a goddamn enough. But then they got Big Reese coming out, and that's when we're gonna see Andy tell her about the fact that you threw every accusation you could think of at Karen. And then he asked, was there more? Because she was trying to act like she didn't throw every accusation, but girl, you did. You did. And then, they tried to say, oh, Karen, you ain't got no proof on what you said on Juan. And Karen was like, you want to see my phone? So I don't know what Karen got on the phone, but I want to see, hey, Adrian. And then they're going to show Robyn's little one-on-one to try to cover up her mess. Okay? So, girl, what you think about this mess?
Girl, so I thought overall the reunion, it's a good reunion. It's juicy. It got people talking. I was very triggered by the colorism conversation because I felt like they danced around the
Didn't
real.
they?
They
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 glossed it
tap
over.
dance, they tap dance and shimmied around the real issue. And I was truly waiting on Candice or Wendy to call a spade and tell Giselle to her
And neither
face.
one of them did, didn't they?
Neither one of them did. And I was very disappointed. And I think that's a lot of what they're talking about what social media says. I've also seen that on social media. People are like, yo, we can't want this more than y'all. We can't want to hold them more accountable than y'all do. We're trying to fight for you all. You all aren't even fighting for yourself. I mean, Candace is trying to hold her accountable, but I wanted somebody to say unequivocally, Giselle, you seem to have a big, deep-rooted issue with any darker skinned woman doing better than you. And nobody
That's
will
what
say
that's
that.
what I wanted to. Hey, Sunflower.
Somebody needed to say that because that was the issue with Monique. But they keep bringing up
Yep.
Monique. Somebody needed to say that. But when that woman told you she had 4 houses, her face cracked,
She been
and you
mad
ain't
ever
liked her,
since.
and you've been mad ever since. You don't. And here's another thing too, the whole thing about Candace and her growing up with money with parents for doctors. Robyn's father is a dentist.
Yep.
Giselle was going on and on about her supposed pedigree. So it's okay. Listen to what they're saying, but not saying. It's okay for
Mm-hmm.
them to grow up like that. But how dare this dark skinned woman grow up like that and have the audacity to be proud about it? When she talks about her family's accolades, that really, because we know that's the issue that Ashley has. Your
That's
mama
right.
laying up in a tent under a bridge with a white man, and this
Sister
dark skinned
Underbridge,
girl,
yes.
this
Mm-hmm.
dark skinned girl is living behind a gate in a country club, and you got a problem with it. And
That's
even
right.
with Wendy, and so somebody needs to say that. And I
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciated Andy acknowledging the fans, saying he said, "Listen, I am a white man. I do not have the capacity to have this conversation." I asked them if they wanted somebody. I did appreciate the fact that he acknowledged, yes, this is what people are saying. Because if y'all don't talk about this, y'all gonna have a big problem.
That's
And
right.
when they talked about what's the names going out, I guess the letters already been sent out, and
The
they said
contracts for
one person
everybody but
contract.
one person.
It better not have been Wendy, because if y'all sat here and let this woman get attacked on television and then don't you didn't hold me accountable and then don't bring Wendy back, y'all gonna have a real problem.
Oh, I already said that.
They're gonna have a real,
I
real
agree with
problem.
everything you said.
But
Mm-hmm.
but I just and then Ashley too, with her thing talking about can't, her children were gonna have their own thing at 30. Yeah, so you and Michael, as their parents, with Michael's money, are going to make sure that those boys are okay. But you have a problem with Candace's parents doing the same thing? Make it make sense.
It's jealousy because her mama sister on the bridge now. That's what she upset about.
But they clown Mia. They clown Mia, but nobody's envious of Mia's supposed wealth and all that kind of stuff now. They are envious of Candace for that. It's a difference. They're envious about the fact that
Well,
she
they feel
has
like
that.
she doesn't have a
She
right to
doesn't
have it.
deserve,
She
right?
doesn't
She doesn't have
deserve
the
it.
right to, right.
Mm-hmm.
And even with Wendy, I was waiting on Wendy to clap back at Mia when she was talking about call Eddie an opportunistic husband. I'd have been like, no, sweetheart, this is what a loving marriage looks like, as opposed
Well,
to a
she kind of did
transactional one.
now. Now she kind of did on that one. She did it cute, but she kind of did that.
She,
She was like, "Do you want one?" Like she really was like, "I'm sorry,
yeah,
you're there for me." No, she did that. I'm gonna tell the
because
truth on everybody. She
yeah,
did that.
I just it's it,
Well,
and even
Wendy
the whole
upset me.
leaning into the happy
Well,
Eddie.
Wendy upset me, sis, was that colorism conversation. Her and Candice
Yeah,
both. Candice
yeah,
halfway came correct, but
uh-huh,
Wendy really, really soft shoot it for me, and I didn't like
uh-huh,
it.
uh-huh.
I ain't like
And you notice who was absolutely silent the entire conversation?
Karen.
Robert.
Rob the builder.
Robert
Silent.
ain't said a goddamn
She
thing.
was silent the entire. She didn't say nothing.
Baby,
She
the
didn't
nature
pipe up
boy
to
Ric
say
Flair did not say
anything.
woo right then. Nature boy ain't said nothing. And
Even
Giselle
Mia.
only opened her mouth to try to derail the conversation, to try to
Hmm.
gaslight and pretend that she didn't understand and it sounded dumb. Like, girl, bye. The only
Well, and I
thing
want somebody to say
that
that.
nest on top of your head.
I wanted somebody to read Giselle about that too. When she talked about, Mia was raising a brown skinned daughter, and Giselle was like, me too. It's like, okay, Giselle, what are you going to do when them girls call you from college crying because they ran across a woman like you on campus? What are you
Mm-hmm.
going to say when somebody tell them they're too dark to be in the chapter? What are you going to tell them?
Well, here's the thing. First off, let's be clear. Nobody's going to tell them they're too dark to be an AKA. Nobody's going to say that.
They're going to
Um,
be treated a certain. Now they might get in because there'll be a legacy. They'll get in
but
off of
no,
her.
but no, no, we not gonna do no AKA slander. Let me just help
No,
you.
no, 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 no. I'm a Delta. I love them. I No, 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 no.
Okay,
I
I'm
have
just I'm
AKs in
just
my
saying we
family.
ain't gonna do
I
that.
love them, but that's what I'm saying. I understand how sororities work, and when they're looking at girls. Look, I'm a light skinned
I
woman. I've been light
understand that
skinned all
too,
my
but I'm
life.
just saying like that is no longer a thing. I know that that is the legacy. That's how things started, but
Hmm.
that is no longer the caveat. It
I
is
just
just
know how light
yeah.
skinned women like that think.
I mean, we know how they think, but we're not gonna put that on AKA. Like
No,
that's
no,
what we're
no, 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 no. It's not on
nobody's
them
gonna be like, oh, you
specifically.
start to be in the chapter. We
Mm-mm.
can't do that.
It's not about them specifically. The point I'm making is when her daughters are brown skin, beautiful girls,
Yes, they are.
but they took their father's color. So how is that going to play out? Because what I'm saying is, look at how Wendy is being treated by Giselle. That's her own
Right,
sorority
but
sister,
all
and
I'm
look how
saying is,
she's
but that
treating
has
her
nothing to do
on
with the
national
chapter.
television.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, let's steer that away
Hmm.
from, the pearls. Like
I
this is
feel
a
you.
pretty, this is a pretty girls
It
channel. So
is. It is.
okay. So we're not gonna do that. Um, we're not gonna do that. But they definitely run the risk of running into somebody like their mama.
Hmm.
They do run the risk of running into somebody like their mama in all facets of life. Um, don't think anybody's gonna look at them and be like, "Oh, you're too affluent to be brown," because their mama is Giselle. Like they being too affluent is not a risk. Um,
Hmm.
However, they may run into people who see them accomplishing things and doing well and might be envious because maybe they didn't work so hard because they thought their color was gonna work for them. And they may treat them the way their mother treats black women who are more accomplished, better spoken, more respected. Now that is a very real risk, but the problem is Giselle is not going to hold that conversation with those children. She's not going when her chickens come home to roost. She's not going to address it.
But why do they not have that same smoke for Raven? Wouldn't Karen and Ray have set her up the same way? But they won't speak on that. That's the problem I'm having with this thing they got with Candiace,
Well,
and
we
the
know what
envy
it is.
there.
We know what it is, but Giselle is just not going to do very well for her daughters when it comes time for that. That's all I'm saying. When the chickens come home to roost, Giselle is not going
Yeah.
to do it. Giselle is not a nice person. She's not a good person. Not even when it comes to her daughters, a lot of times, in my opinion. The way she treated them at that table when she was ill equipped to have a conversation about the female reproductive system bothered me. But, that's neither here nor there.
I feel like Giselle's Achilles heel is like marriages as a whole. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you look at Wendy, right? When they first came on, like I was not automatically a Wendy fan. But when Giselle and Wendy first came on, they both have the sorority thing in common. You
Mm-hmm.
would think that they would be a lot closer, but I think like Giselle's deep jealousy of Wendy's family, it came out when Robyn was attacking Wendy's family, right? Like that's what I,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also think with Monique, like I can't get behind everything that Monique did, but I think
True.
it was the fact that Monique's husband provided those four homes that was a problem for Giselle, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then in terms of Candiace, why they would attack Candiace over Raven? Raven doesn't have a household as yet. So they're not gonna view her in the same way. They're viewing Candiace as the one that is more of a competition. Raven isn't a competition as yet for Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I'm reading it, right? This isn't like a fact, but I feel
Hmm.
like they just don't read Raven on their level as yet. And I do think like it has more to do with the marriages. I mean, there's a lot of colorism for sure, right? That I don't agree with, but I really think like people being in wholesome marriages disturbs them, and I could tell by the way they did Chris. And I don't know that I like Chris per se, because I feel like Candice's parents are way more accomplished. I feel like Candice is way out of his league. That's just my personal
Hmm.
Amen.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't tell people who to love, right? But the thing for me that was really disturbing was like Giselle is supposed to be a lot more mature in thinking, and she just went at that man and wanted us all to just go along with it like she's playing. She's not taking any of this seriously. She's not thinking of the repercussions of everything else. And the fact that she made me defend Chris was like such a problem, but it actually exposed for me what her problem was with Candiace. It was definitely the relationship. She's more comfortable with like Robyn, who is on shaky grounds and getting dogged out, than she is with a Wendy, a Karen, or Candiace, who don't have those same experiences.
I mean it, but isn't it possible that both things are still also true? Now,
Yeah.
while she clearly have an issue with marriages, she definitely has the issue with those black women being in better positions than her. Now,
Yeah.
Hmm.
she uses different things to justify her ignorant behavior. For Candice, well, oh, you got it from your mama. Monique, you got it from your husband. So don't get it from your mama.
Right.
Don't get it from your husband. Wendy got it off the muscle with 4 degrees, and you got a problem
But
with that
check this.
too.
No,
The
because
bottom
Yeah.
line is Giselle has a problem with black women who are doing better than her.
Better than her. Yep.
that's true, right? But
Period.
think about it, right? The for me the reason why people getting it from somewhere else lads flat is because Giselle's not worked anywhere, right? So she got it from somewhere too. And I think like
Hmm.
the
But
problem is
she
that
ain't
people
got
get
it. That's the
enough.
problem, baby. She don't have it. She ain't got it. That's what she's mad about.
Exactly.
She's
Mm.
living in a barn with apartment furniture and that sad chandelier over her front door. She don't have it. We saw her on this season on a ladder picking. She couldn't even pay anybody to come and maintain her property. She ain't got it. That's why Miss Thing is angry.
I know, and
She
that's
feels
part of why
as
they're
though her
bitter.
complexion should have afforded her a better lifestyle than those black women. And she made every excuse in the book. Well,
Yep.
Candace, you got it because of your mommy and your daddy.
Yep.
Well, Monique, you got it because of your husband. Well, now Wendy got it because of 4 degrees and she's accomplished and she married well. So now what's your excuse, Giselle? No matter which way you package
Hmm.
it to her, the root of the problem is still black women based on the constant. The constant is these black women are by far leaps and bounds better than the Lord of the Rings. Period. She knows they're her betters, and she's envious. She's resentful, and she's bitter because she feels like it should have been her.
Whew. Mm.
Now that's just what it is. That's why she's so vicious.
Mm-hmm.
If they bring a black girl right now whose money fell out the sky in a fish bucket, she'd hate her too.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just what it is.
Sad. I can feel like it's so, Giselle is super sad for me. Like, that's why for me, like, before I didn't really have a favorite. I just liked the show in general, but I'm starting to gravitate more towards Wendy, just because I like the way how she's handling herself now, and other things that make the show fun, but nothing about Giselle makes the show fun, and I really wish that we could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just feel like if Andy's going to start, I mean, it seemed like he was trying to hold her, like you said, accountable a little bit. She said, next question. He said, no, we're going to talk about this now. I feel like you also need to hold her feet to the fire about this husband thing. Because if you're gonna say you've been watching social media, you saw everything else that we've been saying, you can't say that you missed this sticking point. And when Wendy even brought it up that there was a pattern, he again let Giselle just slide on by that and wasn't held accountable. You're attacking people's marriages, and we have
That's
it on
true.
footage
That's true.
season after season after season. We have this on footage where you and the thing about it, I don't know why Candiance or somebody didn't look towards Mia and say, "Girl, if they bring you back next year, what make you think she ain't gonna go after Gordon?"
I mean, she going after her right now, calling her an embezzler on national television now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time. One thing about it, I don't think Uncle Gino going nowhere near Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. I don't believe he going. You saw him. He say, "I ain't hugging nobody. Y'all get the hell away from me." Uncle G said, "No, no, 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 and no."
But what I'm looking for, though, I'm looking for Wendy to step up, and even Candice. Hey, Bap, and
Hi.
give it to her, because I feel like they have more going for themselves than Giselle does. But for some reason, there's a silent power play, I think, that everyone seems to understand about Giselle, and I just don't get it.
They understand that she's the henchman for the network. They know that she has that privilege that they gave her, and she's willing to do their dirt. And they know worst come to worst, if it's you or her, it's gonna be you. That's what that is. It's real. It's real. That's an easy one. Like, that's really what it is. But what tickles me is Ashley can acknowledge the privilege, but that's what's going on with Giselle. It's the privilege, and she's had that privilege to a certain extent in her life, but she felt like that privilege should have afforded her a whole lot more than it did.
I think
And the
Giselle.
best,
Hi.
the best. Oh, I'm sorry, Bat. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I
Hey.
think Giselle also hi. I think Giselle doesn't realize as much as the network like care for her and might want her to do their dirty business. They like having a show even more, you know. And so that
Mm-hmm.
privilege only runs so far before they're gonna sit there
Yeah.
and throw her under the bus also.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Exactly.
they will eventually, because that's how clear people operate, right? They do.
Hey.
Now, the only people that will hold on to colorism to the death of them is black folks. Now, whereas clear people may see you as more acceptable because you're closer to them, you have more proximity to them. That only gets you so far, because your proximity is just that. It's just proximity to them. You still not them. So that only gets you so far. And even with their own, it only gets them so far. The minute it starts to affect their bottom line, they drop it.
Yep.
Now, in our community, we see people, even when it's detrimental, they still hold on to these tropes and attitudes and systems that are harmful. We see it's getting us nowhere, but you still see black folks that hang on to it. And Karen made a very good point. And I don't want that to be swept under the rug. Karen told the God heaven truth that mess is indoctrinated, and you have to consciously make an effort not to participate and not to act out that stuff.
Yeah,
Because
Karen
it
spoke a
has
word.
been put, because it has been indoctrinated and put into our community to a certain degree.
I mean,
To
yeah, but
everybody.
Karen turned the coat too late for me because I already saw her. I saw straight
I
through.
saw her say that there wasn't no colorism on the show,
Yeah,
and guess what? I can't get no madder than Wendy and Candiance, who sat up there and echoed the same sentiment that these people are not colorists, but colorism rears its head. So she basically said no worse than them, and I'm not going to take away anything from what she said, because what she said was the most poignant and the most accurate on that stage tonight.
that may
And
be
also,
true.
Ashley acknowledging her privilege was very poignant too.
Yeah, that may
Yeah,
be
that
true,
was a good
right?
point. But
But when
but did y'all notice she only did so after Karen stopped her from being intentionally obtuse
True.
and told her you need to acknowledge what this girl has experienced. Because if Karen hadn't said anything, do you think Ashley would have made that 180 and acknowledged her privilege?
No, I know like Karen made a word and all of that, right? I get that it was a good point. However, for me, the way how I read it is like in the heat of the moment, like when Wendy would did get the drink thrown on her, and when Wendy did get the purse like thrown on her, Karen didn't step up then. She saved her own skin. So I feel like, okay, Karen, when it's time to actually address something that's colorist, you actually sat there and put the blame on both of them, like two wrongs or whatever she said, right? That's why for me it seems a bit like Karen kind of edited herself to provide that answer,
She,
but in real life I can't see that
but
I
she,
she
I
was
feel
doing it.
you, but she still told the truth, and I ain't taking nothing from it. In that moment, nobody looked after Wendy. Nobody did anything. Literally nobody but Ashley. So I'm taking nothing away from that moment. And at that moment, what she witnessed was an assault. She witnessed an assault, and all of them witnessed that same assault. What
And
she
as
said
much as I
tonight,
can't stand Ashley, I was so happy that she was there for Wendy in that moment because
yeah, she
literally
went to
nobody
at
else
least
was.
check on her. Right. She would have at least she at least checked on her. Had she not done so, it would have been even more glaring how
Right.
they're treating the
Well,
black girl.
and that's the part about colorism that they did not talk about was the exclusion. They excluded Wendy because she had the audacity to stand up to them. And it was a dark skinned woman doing that. That's what they were doing in that moment. Everybody saw it. That's why they were so upset. And when Robyn played that back and they showed that unedited footage where they were having that conversation, because Robyn kept saying that, no, I was concerned about her job. I was
Oh,
concerned about her fighting about da 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 da. No, you were mad because she had the other, because you didn't say anything about Mia's behavior. You were mad because Wendy stood up to her, and then y'all got back to the house. And because remember, Giselle was like, is she staying here? Like all of a sudden, she can't be in the house. Y'all treated this girl and you excluded her in that moment. That was also a part of what colorism is. And they didn't talk
Wendy
about that. And
said
Wendy,
that
and
too.
Wendy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Now,
and
Wendy did
so,
say that when she was talking about her assault, if y'all recall tonight,
mm-hmm,
she said the way I was treated in this group, the way the group handled the situation was really effed up. And none of those
mm-hmm,
heifers, none of them opened up their mouths and said, you know what? I look back in hindsight, that was wrong. We shouldn't have handled you like that. We should have been more supportive. We should have spoke up and said this was wrong. We should not have agreed and participated in excluding you. But
right,
not one of them did.
Or
right,
just basic humanity, you know? Like Wendy, like even if they never told us, even behind the scenes to her directly, just be just be a proper person, right? That's why everyone's kind of like excited about Ashley. But for me personally, I can't clap when the fish swims. Basic
Amen.
humanity is expected from everyone on that cast because at the end of the day this is just a TV show, right? But if Robyn really cared about this woman and her job and all the crap that she's spewing out that I will never believe.
Girl, we know she lying. We knew she was lying when she
mm-hmm,
said it on the Today Show. We know
Exactly.
she lying.
Lying, like I don't know, I don't know, I would have a lot more respect for
yeah,
Wendy.
she was so concerned for her job that she was sitting there with her camera out yelling "World Star."
And
That's
right.
how
laughing and
concerned she was.
grinning
Right.
too.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm
Robyn's
saying. They didn't talk about that. They didn't say, "Oh, well, wait a minute, Robyn. If you were so concerned, why were you antagonizing Wendy? Why'd you have the camera up in her face?" That's what
Well,
I'm
they
saying.
did ask her that.
It
Andy
she
absolutely
skirt
did
around it.
she told a lie. She addressed it. She didn't run from it. She just told the same lie.
Yeah, it took a while for her and Giselle to finally get to the point where they admitted that the way they acted towards her was just because they don't like her.
That's
But
right.
then
And
they
then
don't
and then
like that whole mean girl label. But it's like y'all basically just confirmed it.
yeah, but
I
nobody is
don't
going
like you, so
further and
I'm willing
asking them
to
why.
support something that's inappropriate.
But
Right. I
nobody,
don't like you, so I'm going to sit by while
Andy,
you get assaulted and act like you're the person who caused it.
well, that's a
Yeah, I'm
part of the
allowing
thing
you.
is that when it's a darker skinned person, they're moving the goalposts, and that's what I'm saying. Giselle sat up there and flat out said, "Well, I just don't like her. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about somebody I don't like." And it's like, okay, so you have no more. And Candace said that. Oh, so you have no morals. That means you have
Right.
no moral compass. If you're gonna change what's right or what's wrong based on whether or not you like them, and nobody is asking why you don't like. What did Wendy do? What did she stood up to you when you were talking crap about her husband?
Same thing
Yep.
That
Monique
that's
did.
what she did.
I think Giselle is like super delusional. I think she really thinks that people like her. Like someone hasn't told her like she's very repulsive. So because she thinks she's likable, and I think that's what production is doing to her, gassing her head up. They know which button to push. That's the reason why she keeps going because I can't see a human being acting the way that she does with zero introspection. Like either the people around her or like, just being the peanut gallery and supporting this, or she just really is that delusional. But it's really sad because the thing is, she's got daughters coming up in the world. She doesn't even care how she represents herself. And let's say that she is selfish, right? Because if I were Giselle right now and I was being selfish, I would try to parlay this platform into something else. But she's not even brilliant enough to do that. She couldn't even decide to sell hat salon with Robyn or something like that.
Well,
But she
she
tried.
tried to sell that sad makeup, just ain't nobody want it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But Giselle's effect is like if you put her on a product, I don't want the product because she's on it. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. And she
Yeah,
wasn't even.
she's so nasty.
Yeah, she should have come here and say, "Hey guys, I got uterus issues this month and this season, and it's really taking a toll on the way I see life." She could have parlayed that and come out on top, but she's not even smart enough to do that because on one hand she wants to think like she's some young thing and Karen is older, which I don't like that. But then on the other end, she wants to talk slide in her uterus issue just as a sympathy card because she knows like what's coming down the pipeline, right? And then
Yeah,
she's
she know people don't like her.
yeah, then she's trying to sell it to me that she's with some young guy and men want her and blah blah blah. Like her attitude is too nasty for a man to want. Like maybe back in the day they'll put up with it, right?
Well, all the pretty done ran out. Now, men don't care about your attitude as long as you look like what they want you to look like.
She
You
is
know, but one thing about it, and two things for sure, honey, pretty don't last forever. It
Yep.
lasts longer for some than others, but pretty
it's
don't
just
last forever. And
I don't
once your pretty expires, the only thing left is your character.
And that's what I think Giselle's mistake is, well, was throughout life. I think she's one of
Mm-hmm.
those people who relied on pretty and
Mm-hmm.
surface level stuff for the majority of her life. And now it's like you at the latter end of it. And what do you have as an individual? Who are you?
She banked on the wrong man. Now, some pretty terrible women, they bank on the right man and they get enough children, and the man is decent enough to say, okay, I got all these babies with you. I married you all these years. I'll stay. They might hate your guts, but they'll just stay. Cheaper to keep her. She ran into somebody that was going to whore around so bad that she would have to leave. She banked on the wrong man, is what happened. And she was
Yeah.
banking on pretty. And she was too stupid to know that pretty has an expiration date.
Right.
yeah, that's the
And I'm
part.
telling you, when your character is bankrupt, when pretty runs out, you're screwed.
Yeah, that's the part that
Mhm.
I don't have a soft spot for her, but I just didn't send her to oblivion because she did have a mental breakdown over this man, right?
Yeah.
And that's where for me Giselle it, it, it makes me sad. The situation's just sad, right? She could have been so much more. She could have been Miss HBCU, Miss all these things she could have been, right? The potential, but she's so silly and dumb, like that she's stuck in the age that just in the state that Jamal left her in. And he's such a terrible pastor. He didn't reach back and say, "Oh my God, let me go help my ex-wife out. Let me help her get on a, like a stool or a platform to build herself up or something."
He's not a good person, but we can't blame all this on Jamal. No, ma'am. No,
No,
ma'am, because she knew what Jamal was when she married him. When she went down the aisle, she found out that another girl was pregnant at that time.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, for that particular moment when she had that breakdown, right? Jamal was the catalyst for this situation that happened to her. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, as as a pastor, I hold him into the regard of, hey, if you were the catalyst that broke this woman, turn around and help her up, because that's what you're supposed to be the one doing all day long, right? Helping
But we
build.
cannot expect the same man who not only dishonored his marital vows, he dishonored the office of pastor by slinging his dingaling through the congregation. So the same man who's King Dingaling, you can't expect him to be the humanitarian of the year. Those things don't match.
I expect it if he has indeed moved on the way that she said that he did when he came back.
Well, if we're gonna put it like that, the way he came back, because he only came back to help her out on this show. Now, maybe that was his humanitarian effort. Now, he came to help her out on this show, and we all know that because they were not together, because he was still going with Pastor Coochie Pop.
The one and only
Now,
time
let's
I've
call a
actually ever
thing a
felt
thing.
the one and only time I actually ever felt sorry for Giselle was that scene with her father about this when they revealed that he didn't even walk her down the aisle. That is terrible. Like, she didn't even get that moment with her father to walk her down the aisle and give her away, because he even knew that this man was so terrible
I was
and
about to say, because
was such a
that
bad
didn't
man
make
for
me feel.
her.
I was about to say, girl, that didn't make me feel bad for her. She should have listened to her daddy.
She
Yeah.
she
Your
should have
daddy
listened,
is so
but
against this
that's
man,
sad. Yeah.
No,
if
your
your
daddy.
daddy is so against this man
Right.
that he
hmm
refused to walk you down the aisle and help her, you shouldn't have went. Because if
She should
Philip
have
Smith
listened.
had told me that he did not approve of the man I married when I got married, and he would not walk me down the aisle, I would not have married that man.
hmm
When I walked down the aisle, my daddy took me. Now he was cracking jokes and talking about people's hair look bad and stuff, and I was trying not to laugh at people and whatnot, but he took me. If
I guess
Philip
for
had said,
me,
I don't approve and I ain't walking you, I wouldn't have walked either.
I just remember having that moment with my father when he gave me away, and I just feel like that's just like you said, it was on her. She shouldn't have done it. But I guess what I'm saying is, watching that, it's just sad to see. It's like, dang, girl, you let this man and this thing go so far that you would even fracture your relationship with your own father, won't even give you away at your wedding, and only for this man to turn around and do you exactly like your father said he was. That's the kicker, is that it's not like y'all went on to have a wonderful marriage and proved everybody wrong. He turned around and did exactly the same thing he was doing. Somebody was pregnant when y'all got married, then he got a 50, 14, whatever pregnant year old in the congregation pregnant after, however the girl was. Like, he turned out to be exactly what you said, and that makes you look
He was
so,
just
like
what her
Karen said,
daddy
he
said he
dogged
was.
you just like he said he would. He dogged you out. Remember, Karen said that. He dogged you out, you divorced, and then he took him back and he dogged you again. Like, so then that's another thing too. So then you wasted all that. You wasted your good years on this man. You got three beautiful children out of it. You did. And loves her daughters. And I know a lot of divorced women feel that way. My mother felt that way. Wouldn't trade the kids for nothing. But you wasted a lot of good time. You wasted a lot of your pretty on this dude.
Now
And
that she did, but the truth of the matter is, Giselle is in the position she's in because she's unremarkable, unintelligent, and unambitious. If she hadn't married Jamal, it might have been another loser. If she hadn't got married at all, what would she have done with her life? Look at her.
no, but I feel like she's one.
If she had any talent, any gumption, any creativity, any spark of anything, she would have done that after the marriage was over. The fact that she has done absolutely nothing on top of nothing with a side of nothing lets me know that that's just who she is. She's nothing.
Yeah,
She
I
She
didn't
was a
work
agree.
pretty.
nowhere before the
She was a
show.
pretty. She was a
I
pretty
wonder if
puff
she
of
ever
air.
forgave herself
She was a
for
pretty puff of
choosing to
air
marry.
that has blown away. That's what she was. Just a
I
pretty
feel
little
like
She
puff of
the one
air.
who should have just
Nothing.
involved in though, because remember when there was this one guy who seemed really nice and into her, and she was like, "Oh, he needs to be a little rougher or whatever." I feel like she seeks out toxicity, and that's why she just oozes it naturally because she
Mm.
how to get something that's good for her. The guy, when she went on a date with him, can't remember which season, right? Like, why wouldn't she just settle down, calm herself down, go for this guy who's being good to her and her kids, and ride off into the sunset, being the princess or queen that she thinks she is? But no, instead she went baller, and that all collapsed again when
But
stuff
that's
came
why
up.
I said what I said. If it hadn't been Jamal, it would have been another loser. She's not even smart enough to pick a good man. She's dumb. Like Candace told her, you're not smart.
Yeah, but I
You're
feel like
not smart.
a lot of people don't have good luck with guys, right? So then, okay, great.
Because they're depending on luck. You have to be intentional. And the fact that Giselle is as old as she is and she still doesn't know how to be intentional is pitiful and
Yeah,
pathetic.
Right.
like, cause set the guys aside. If you look at Giselle as a person, she's it's just nothing there. And I
You heard
for
what I call a pretty puff of air.
A lot of empty.
A whole lot of empty, baby.
What
A
did she
whole
do
lot of
before the
empty.
housewife?
Candace
What
told
did
her the
she
truth
do?
tonight.
Raise
Candace
her
told her the
kids and
truth
get child
tonight.
support problems.
You're not smart. You're not smart. Even at the age she is right now. Giselle ain't got it like she used to have it. You know, it's a little rough. You know, it's been a little scuffed up. You know, it's got a few miles on it. But if she was smart, Giselle would go and find her an older gentleman who's been married before, his children are grown, and act like she got some sense, be intelligent, do the grown woman thing, start dating one of them, marry somebody that's a little older, and her life would probably be a lot more peaceful, calm, fulfilled. She'd have companionship. She probably wouldn't even be so awful, evil, and miserable.
but
But
that's why
no, but no, what does she do?
I don't think she felt.
I'm gonna pretend to date this little boy that looked like my
Yeah,
nephew and get on this reunion talking about he prepping me for the show. See, she's childish, she's petulant, she's tacky, she's classless, she's uncouth.
she's
That's what
messy.
she is. Like I said, she's unambitious, she's unintelligent, and she's just untalented, just She's
We're talking
That's
about
what
that
she is.
earlier. She when she said that whole thing about, oh well, I don't like Wendy, so that's why I didn't defend her. It's like that's a childish response. And
Mm.
it's like she's emotionally stunted, like she's still a teenager in her head, and it's sad to see because she in her 50s like Karen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
52, about to be 53. But that's the thing, she has arrested development. And that's the other side of the colorism conversation that people don't like to have. But the truth of the
mm-hmm,
matter is that pendulum, as Ashley put it, and she used it incorrectly, but the pendulum does indeed swing both ways. When you have girls that you give privileges based on their complexion rather than their actual merit, you cause arrested development. You put them in
mm-hmm.
a position to be a pretty puff of air and sometimes a not so pretty puff of air.
Right, because they don't have to grow.
They don't have to do anything. You just automatically
Mm-hmm.
grant them privilege and access to things that they did not merit. That is the other half of the conversation. When
Mm-hmm.
your yellow does not provide you the life that you want to have or you feel as though you deserve based on your complexion, now you sitting up angry at sisters who actually achieved, who
I don't.
actually were not
I know some
and their
yellow.
daughters. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, I know some yellow people that are not. It's just something about her that's just And then like the way that she attacks Karen, I don't feel comfortable with it. From the time she got there, she's always been like on Karen about her age, which to me it backfires a lot because Karen looks amazing. Karen looks
She
amazing.
does that because Karen is the closest in
Mm-hmm.
proximity to age to her, and she don't want to get older.
Yeah, I think that
Mm-hmm.
clings on to Robyn, and she likes being clicked up with Robyn, even though there's a age gap between her and Robyn. She likes being paired with that because she thinks in her head that
She
she's
wants to
younger.
pretend like she can
Yeah,
pass the bit for being younger. But there's another dynamic there that you all are missing. Giselle goes out of her way to make sure y'all know she is the Creole queen. She don't like the fact that Karen is
Mm-hmm.
black. There's no way to get around the fact that there is a difference in how people see black women. Karen may be lighter complected, but Karen's black.
Mm-hmm.
Karen ain't saying, "Oh, I'm a Creole queen." Karen black. Giselle don't like black folks, and ain't no other way to toss that thing.
Mm-hmm.
She
I'm
don't
about
like
to
what?
hop off of here, but I just wanted to say one thing before I left.
Go ahead, girl.
Um, I think the one thing that this episode really brought to fruition for me was the realization of just why Giselle and Robyn are as close as they are. Because Robyn, Robyn, before you could say she isn't as messy as Giselle is, but she really is
Oh, she
just as
is.
nasty as Giselle.
She's disgusting. Mm-hmm.
Yep, just as nasty as Giselle. Her mindset is just as petty
She's
and spiteful.
disgusting.
Yep,
Petty, spiteful, resentful, bitter, hateful. She's a nasty piece of work.
yep, they match.
They sure do, girl. Like two
But all
dirty
right,
socks.
y'all. It's been fun talking to y'all.
Come back again, girl.
I mean, I could see that because Robin's dining room looks really nice, and she doesn't help Giselle with any designs at all. She doesn't-
Well,
yeah,
she
like
don't need to help Giselle because when she was living in that little tiny space, Giselle walked in there and shaded the hell out of her. Oh, you did all
Mm-hmm.
this?
All of
Well,
this.
why should you help her? You did all this, Robyn. Help her for what? Help her with what? When the girl was trying to flip houses, Giselle went up in there intentionally trying to pick a fight with Monique to mess up her open house. Help her with what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You went ring shopping with the man that's supposed to be your man and helped him pick out a Morganite ring. Help her with what?
Seanitra, you didn't like the Morganite ring.
Girl, listen, if our in-law brings you a Morganite ring, you will give it back to him. You will give it back.
I ain't never even heard of that song until she said that.
I never heard of
I
that
said, "What is
until
a
she.
Morganite?" I had to go Google. I said, "What is that?"
Hmm. Gave that girl a Morganite ring. Yes, Bap, and called her hatline embezzlement. She sure did. Yes, she did, Bap. Help her with what? She
Ooh,
wasn't supposed to
Well,
Seanitra.
help
that's the
her.
thing, is that she definitely feels like she needs somebody to be over. Like she needs, she has a superiority complex. Giselle to me definitely feels like an over the hill colorist that peaked in undergrad. She's right. She reminds me of
Yep,
Tisha Campbell in
there
in
you
the
go.
Gamma Rays. Remember
Girl,
School
you
Days?
listen. Why do you think I call her Big Sister Almighty? Because
She
that's what
remind
she
me of
tried to
Tisha.
do to them girls.
Yeah, she trying to she's walking around like Tisha Campbell in School Days. Like she's
Yes,
still
ma'am.
stuck, right? She's still stuck, right? And in the 80s, and thing about it is that was when Giselle was at her peak, was when that movie was really out.
Yep,
That was her peak for real, for
that
real.
was her time, girl.
That was her
That
time.
was her
And
time, girl. That's
and I
back when
think
everybody was acting like Vanity was the best looking woman in the world when she's sitting up there with the chest of a 12-year-old boy and the shape of one too.
and
That's
I
back when
think
all you needed was some yellow and you was the queen of the
yeah.
world.
I think it's just as much difference in age between her and Robin as it is between her and Karen. Her and Robin are like 5, 6 years apart. Her and Karen are like 6 years. I don't understand why
Well,
she
let
does
me
this
get it
age
right.
thing.
Okay, so Robyn is a hard 40 and Giselle is 52. So that's 12 years.
Now, Robin, that was a few years ago. Karen said that Robin got to be like 44, 45
Is she already
now.
44? It's hard to
Because I
tell.
think
She just
Karen
looks
said
so
that,
she looks like she just looks so hardened.
because Karen said that
Let's
in like the
Google her.
first 1 or 2 seasons. She
Let's
got to be
Google
at
this
least
out.
like 45 now. I
Let's
think it's
find
like the
out.
same. I think it's like
I'm,
the same amount of difference
I got
between
Google. I got Google.
between her. But I'm just saying I don't understand why she is making such a big deal about Karen's age like that. It's just weird. Like
She
at
43. She
43,
43.
and and Giselle's 52.
Yep, Giselle is 52, so that means that they are 9
What?
years apart, and Giselle
Exactly.
is 7 years behind Karen.
Child.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she likes being clicked up with Robin because she wants
Mm-hmm.
and thinking that they're a pair.
Mm.
Yeah, like they classmates, girl. Hey, Callie Nola. You ain't no
Hey,
goddamn classmate. That girl young enough to be your young for you to be the young auntie. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Exactly.
Dang, I didn't realize it was that far apart. That's
No,
Yeah,
Robyn,
9 years.
crazy.
Nine.
Wow.
Nine, girl, nine.
Wow.
Robyn doesn't
And
carry her the fresh thing either.
say what, baby?
Like Robyn has the still energy too that matches Giselle's. That's why it goes so well, right?
Because they both nasty colorist tramps. Now, mind you, I ain't gonna put the colorism so hard on Robyn because Robyn ain't nowhere near black. That is a clear woman.
Yeah, straight up 75% white woman. Yeah.
Yeah, like real rap. Cause her daddy
Mhm.
ain't all the way and the mama ain't at all.
Mm.
No, this was
Okay.
proven. Like Katie said this when they did the DNA
Yep.
test.
Tell it, girl. Tell it. Tell it.
Right, and she all aggressive. Robyn is like the tackiest person on the cast, but they're always wanting to talk about like how Monique used to be, and I just did not like it because like Robyn comes to people's restaurants to yell at them about Juan cheating on her. Robyn has an umbrella in her hand to be the security, and then she got Juan barking down the phone at her. They think that shit is normal. Sorry, they think that's normal. They think barking at people like that and being all aggressive. Because I was like,
Mhm.
Juan, that's the woman you about to marry. You love her. Why is you yelling down the phone at her? Like, what if
Cause
she's
he don't like her.
yeah, and like I don't like Juan either at all, but I understand why there's like a trauma bond there, right? Like he lost his
I like one. Free one.
I don't
I need
no,
somebody to make free one
don't
t-shirt.
bring
Free one.
Juan. Think about the
Free
children that
one.
no,
One is a victim. Free
absolutely.
one.
Juan is hot trash. He should be worried about the students in his college
No.
state. No, no, he don't get a pass
Mm-mm.
here. Uh-uh.
Juan is a victim. Juan is a victim. Juan was yelling and he be snapping at that girl because he is trapped and he don't like her.
But
Now,
that's his
doggone it.
fault. No, Juan, the second he became a man, he had choices. He chose to stick beside his
Yeah,
girl.
but you can say what you want to say. When somebody get a hold to you as a child, they can groom the situation. They can put you in spots where you feel like you owe them something. One, free
Mm.
one. That's right, Andrew Mack. Free one. I need one. I need free one t-shirts. Because I'm tired of this mess. Now I like her mama and them, but her mama and them did a number on that boy. They took him in because his mama died, and ever since then he felt like he owed them something. And he trying to hang in for this show, like he told a girl that he was met up with at the darn hotel. It's for TV, it's for the fans, it's an obligation. That boy don't want to be trapped in that situation. And he told y'all in that hot mic moment, he there, if it wasn't for Carter and Corey, he wouldn't even be there. That boy say
Mhm.
he want to share his life with somebody. He wants a normal life, and he has been saddled with this albatross around his neck by the name of Lil Robert. Free one.
Well,
No.
Robyn is the problem because he went overseas and he had a girlfriend and he had a beautiful life, and then Robert like just guilted him back into coming here. But I
That's what I'm saying. The boy is being manipulated, and he
I
was
don't
not allowed to
know.
mature in a normal fashion. Do no fault of anybody other than circumstances. God take who He take. Can't nobody question the Lord like why you let that boy mama die. But if he had had his mother, rest assured, they would not have been able to put him in this position to put him in this vicious loop of being trapped.
Yeah,
Free
but
one.
for me, right, one as a teenager and a young man, I have a lot of sympathy for, and I
Well,
completely
now he got
side
them
with.
children.
But
Now he
no,
got
now
them boys,
past the
and he
hard
trying to
40.
be there for them boys.
Now he passed the hard 40. Ain't no freeing him. He's accountable for his actions.
Free one. One ain't gonna get free to them boys is 18. Free one all day. No.
Yeah, but them little boys
I
is
ain't seen
teenagers.
one do nothing. I didn't
They
see
gonna be
one
out
do
the
nothing.
house soon.
What did Juan do to this heifer? He don't like her. She know he don't like her.
But
That's
Well,
not her
if
man.
he really wanna leave, them boys are teenagers. They'll be out the house soon. I think the
exactly.
oldest one's like 14.
He could have a
Everybody don't believe in just abandoning their children.
no. He could be a
No, I'm
great father.
talking about when they leave. I said they'll be out the house soon.
But this is the whole point. Juan don't really go with her. Y'all know that's not Robyn's man. Juan got he got somebody, but he still have to be bothered with her. He still got to pretend like they go together for this show. And every now and then she called him while they filming to ask stupid questions. Yeah, he be snapping at her. I don't blame him. Because she know they don't go together.
Like
it don't matter if y'all don't know, she know.
Seanitra, Robyn said they'd be doing it like rabbits. Like he just went ahead and shackled himself again after she done lost all his money.
He ain't been doing nothing with her like no rabbit. You believe Juan it went anywhere near that bear trap she called a poodle? You think that?
You don't love
Juan caught with another baby.
Ooh, Juan is hot trash. I can't get behind Juan. I'm sorry.
What did Juan do? While we calling this man names, what did he do?
I'm talking about Juan in 2002, 2020. I'm sorry, 2022, 2023. What
did he do?
He dismissed that boy, and he got boys of his own. His outside case, not on the show.
Did he? But do we know what happened? Because we haven't heard the particulars of that court case. Do we know that, or is that the accusation?
That's the accusation that makes me uncomfortable. That's all I needed. I'm not saying that everyone this way.
But anybody can make an accusation. I can make an accusation against you. Does that make you trash?
Hell yeah. What's the accusation? Let's get there. Hell yeah.
No. It don't matter what the accusation is. If it's not proven true, then that's prematurely passing judgment on somebody without even having the facts.
Yeah, that's
I think the question about that case is whether or not Juan, as a mandatory reporter, did what he was supposed to do with the information.
And what was he told? Question that he was actually told. We don't know,
right?
But
that's what needs to be
answered
for me.
Come out. And until them court papers come out, I'm not finna call that man nothing. We need to get everything, because the part I heard don't make no sense.
No, that's not the measuring stick I'm using. I'm using the measuring stick that Juan has 2 boys himself, right? Like that, like even speaking to you should have pulled some level of a heartstring.
We don't know if he spoke to him. We don't know what was said if he did. So how can we measure that when we don't know what happened? That's my whole
point. It's not a we measuring. Look, it's not a we measuring. It's Sunflower. Sunflower heard that 1 and 2, and Sunflower just did not see it for Juan. Like now, if the things come back in the opposite direction, like when all the information on the case is heard,
when the court papers come out, because that's what I base things on. I don't call people out their name based on an accusation, because we just sat here and watched that large Hispanic gentleman level accusations at Wendy Osefo. So by that logic, we could say, well, Wendy, you a mother. How could you?
No, the way how I see it is more of an adult versus a child being taken, having something happen to them. That's why I have a lot more.
But we're not talking about a child. We're talking about a college-age young man who was an adult who is making an accusation and still ain't suing Juan. He's suing the college and just named him as one of the people he told. And we still do not know for a fact that anything happened.
That's
what we do know. What we do know is that Juan got another woman, and he had a whole nother one come down from Canada. That we know. We also know that Robyn is a liar because we caught her telling a few of them. We also know that we heard out of Juan's own mouth that if it wasn't for his sons, he wouldn't be in that house. So that's why I say free Juan. I base my statement on facts, not guesses based on accusations that we.
But I'm not saying that this is something that anyone else has to adopt. I stand 10 toes down that this is all me over here, right? Like I may not know whatever is true, but this is how I feel, right? Like when a person is in care of someone else, or like let's say you took your kid to a daycare. I get it, he's a college age person, but I look at them the same.
And he was not in his care.
He was his coach.
That again, not a child, not in his care. And
something is fishy about the school.
Whether the young man even told him anything, we don't know.
But something is fishy about the way that and even though it's not Juan specifically, but something is suspect about the way that the school handled this, with this boy getting kicked out, losing scholarships, and all of that.
I agree. There is something suspect in the way that the school handled it, but that does not include a person. That person's name was actually mentioned. So if we're talking about what the school did, then we got to talk about what the school did. That's fishy. We don't know anything about Juan's behavior that was fishy because we don't have any facts.
That's okay.
You see a pattern though, but the way him and let's just say that for the sake of the argument, and we don't know this to be true, but if
We
we go
don't.
with what's being, well, if we were to go with what's being accused, for me, it looks like a pattern here where both him and Rob don't call out things that are bad. That just the way, to me, it's the same way Robyn is over there not calling out stuff where you can watch
But what
something
does that
happen
have
to
to do with
somebody
Juan? They're not
because
even a couple. So how do we couple him in with what Robyn is doing? That's what I'm saying. Like y'all be reaching, you gonna dislocate your shoulder. You're gonna dislocate your shoulder. We're not gonna conflate issues. What Robyn does is what Robyn does. These people don't even sleep in the same house. So how we gonna say, well, based on what Robyn do, it seemed like he could have. How the hell he barely speak to her? He's the reason we know she was laying in bed and not washing her behind. He don't even like her. How we gonna mix the two? Come on now. That don't even make that's playing some straights. What it come down to is people are ready to crucify this man because we don't like Robyn. I don't like Robyn, but I'm not finna tell no stories on nobody. We have no proof, and an accusation is not a conviction.
I
And
get that.
we shouldn't be spreading stuff like that and saying stuff like that out in the public because, as we know, once certain things get said, people run with it, and it becomes a statement of truth without facts.
It's not. No, I'm for sure
That's
gonna try to go
irresponsible.
because if it
That's
were,
irresponsible.
that's
Mm-mm.
okay. I think there's some subjects for me that are just a little more sensitive. This for me
I'm
is just one of
sensitive
them.
about it too. I'm somebody who's
But hey,
actually experienced sexual trauma,
like
and
even if
I'm actually the mother of a child who experienced sexual trauma. So it's very touchy for me. But also with it being touchy, I also know that facts are important. And it's very touchy because when we start spreading stuff and labeling accusations against people and labeling people in different stuff without facts, it actually takes validity away from people who have actual things happen to them. Facts are important, and it's important to wait on facts before we start spewing things. That is
the
irresponsible.
my viewing is that I do not believe like Juan is just blameless flower in the sun. No, and if it is, it's not like
No
everyone.
man is.
Yeah,
All men are bad like that. Let's get that
it's
understood.
with
But when
me.
it comes to
All right.
what we actually know about this person, we don't know anything that we can call this person trash for. Other than, let me take that back. Other than the young lady saying that he brought his friend in and he started stripping and showing her his Oscar Mayer wiener.
mm-hmm.
Now, if that took place, then that would make him trash. But an accusation that we have no facts on, absolutely not. Not on this porch. That's irresponsible. Now, that young woman made a clear statement of what she said took place and happened to her when she came from Canada and she came to do the Uchiwale with Juan, and he paid for the room because there's evidence that his name is on the receipt. See, the evidence matters.
Mm-hmm.
Evidence matters. You can't just say stuff because somebody else said it. We got to have evidence before we start pointing fingers at people.
I'm not pointing fingers at things. I'm saying that me personally, take Juan's name out of it. If I'm saying like, hey, I don't, it's not uncomfortable. I don't really give it a clean pass. I'm not waiting. I'm saying that for me. I'm not asking anyone else to think this. If I say, bro, I don't see it for the situation, then that's me. I'm
Now,
not
don't
saying
get
like,
me wrong. I'm not telling you not to say that, but I have a responsibility to clarify because we on this platform that that's not the most responsible viewpoint because we don't know anything. Because at the end of the day, when stuff is said on the platform, people don't break it down and say, well, actually, somebody said it on Seanitra's channel. Well, I heard it on Nitra's channel that he did X, Y, and Z, and he's trash, and that's just what it is. We got to be clear. We don't know anything. And for you, my love, I'm not defending his behavior because I don't know what he did. Now, what the reach is that you use
maybe.
that avatar and you look a mess. Now, and what's not a reach is that you about to get blocked. Not a reach. Mars, take the trash out. I'm not in the mood tonight.
Wait, me?
Not you, Sunflower. But
Oh,
y'all know me. I try to be very like when it comes to like stuff like that legal stuff. I try to be real careful because it can turn into something, and y'all know when, especially when it comes to YouTube and the internet, it will take wings and fly, and everybody will be saying the same thing And it'll be, well, it's been said, and you know how black people are. Once enough people say it, it's automatically true because everybody's saying it. Mm-mm. That's your opinion. I respect it. I love it. I still love you. But I have to make it clear that that's not the most responsible thing to say because we don't know that about that man. We don't.
Who, me?
No, not you. I'm just saying in general, we have to be I have
Oh,
to make the statement that it's not the most responsible thing to say because we don't know that about that man. Thank you, Priest B. I didn't think I had to say it, but here we go. Yeah, bloggers are being sued left and right. Thank you. And not on this porch. I mean, not you. You say it, but I have to get a disclaimer. That's not to make you stop thinking the way you think. But I have to be very clear of why I'm saying what I'm saying. We don't know that. I don't know. And even with the young lady, I don't know for sure that he brought his friend in and he stripped down, but I'm making it very clear that if he did in fact do that, now that would make him trash. Now, this case, we have some evidence. We know he was there. We know he was there. And if little Robert is to be believed, she claims that according to her, a friend was involved. So there's two elements that match up with what the young lady is saying. So we don't know, but if he did that, then he's for sure trash. Sure enough trash. But I don't know nothing about this case. This case don't sound right to me. I
um,
don't know nothing about it.
the way how I view it, right, is like they've been on the show for so many seasons, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Robyn has never been forthcoming about anything. Even when Ashley brought up the outside woman, however long
Yeah.
ago, she's never been trying
Mm-hmm.
about that. So for me, I do. My thoughts are like this sudden epiphany of Robyn to be acting like very much a character and to be spreading
Mm-hmm.
all a distraction in my eyes. My sunflower eyes, right?
I feel you.
So I
But
see
one thing about it, and two
our
things for sure, nobody believes Robyn at all. Like I don't believe
no,
nothing
but
Robert said.
I see
And
Rob.
I'm not going to just, the man is a man. Most men ain't no good. Jasmine say Juan is trash for me, but to me for cheating on Robert and having that hot mic moment, but especially why was you mad at the hot mic moment, Jasmine? The boy told the truth. He don't want to be there. The boy told the truth. He just want a regular life. He want to be a regular boy. Yvette say an allegation is just that until proven. I have sons and wouldn't like their character to be maligned for an allegation. Same, same. One thing I'm gonna be is careful. Not especially
But
with that legal. Uh-uh.
I wonder, Shanitra, if, and I understand what you're saying about him staying there for the kids and them not really being together. But I do wonder if staying in a hostile, toxic environment is what's in their best interest anyway. Because if they can
No,
see
it's not.
that they don't even your parents don't even love each other, they probably don't sleep in the same. Like, what does that do for? Because my thing is, what does
Well,
that show
I
these young
agree.
men? What does that show them about how they're supposed to treat women? Like, what have they're about to be dating? Like, 'cause these boys are teenagers. They're not little
Mm-hmm.
boys no more. So what does that show them now about the relationship that they're supposed to have with women? Look at how their father treats their mother.
Jasmine got a good point along the lines of what you say. Now I feel you with that. He should have took that mic off. He embarrassed his children's mama on national TV. Now that's a good point. But we did get the truth. We did get the truth. But you're right, Jasmine. He should have took that mic off. Now I'm with you when you're right. LEL say Juan want to be there at his point though. At this point, though, he shouldn't have gotten on that knee again if he knew he was going to be in Georgetown that evening. Look, he trying to help us stay on that show. Now, if he didn't help her, y'all will say he wrong for not helping her. He trying to help her now.
And I think too, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, because Juan and I, well, these people, I'm 39, so they're about my same age. But I do remember, especially with 80s babies, and
Oh,
Juan's parents was on them drugs. 'Cause when we were all coming up in the 80s and that was happening, and a lot of our parents got hooked on stuff. I remember, especially with the boys, and I see this with Juan, him trying to make an effort to be there for his boy, making an extra effort because of what he didn't have.
mm-hmm.
And I can see that. But the flip side of that is now you have this situation where you've created it, like you said, embarrassing their mama on national television. You can see that you
Mm-hmm.
don't really love this woman. There's all kind of rumors now. And again, your boys are teenagers. It ain't like they ain't hearing about this at school. Ain't like they can't read it for themselves on the internet. Like, so for you to stay in that situation and still act like that is like, that ain't really helping them. If you gonna act like that.
Well, I get what you're saying, and I agree. But I know, and we all know there's a lot of people who stay in relationships for their children, and the children actually are harmed by it. It does more harm than good. It's better to get away
Hmm.
if the toxicity is going to be affecting the babies. But they are those two people, because let's make it clear, they're both choosing to play this role. Okay,
Hmm.
both of them.
I think
They are making a decision that is not good for those children, but we've seen it done more than once. Now Don D got a point. Now here it go. This right here, I forgot this. Don say
Oh
Wanda
yeah.
stuff for her for her rolling the arm up in the car window. Now that was cold blooded. I was
Hmm.
a little ashamed for Robert at that point, because I'm like, girl, if you still speak to him after he did that to you, he walked off, roll your arm up in that window and burn off on you. Now I know you wanted to play that off to be on the show, but Jasmine say, but then again, Robert shaded him in season 1, episode 1, saying what she gets from marrying someone in the NBA and not with an MBA. Yes. Then she turned around and told everybody his credit was bad. Then she tried to say that he was the breadwinner with them hopes in the podcast. So it's like, I'm free one, let him out, let him out.
she took
In
all
case
his
if
money.
someone don't want to let you, don't want you, let them go. They can have separate lives. What a beautiful storyline that could be. Yes, it could. Let him date. You explore how you feel about his girlfriend rather than pretending like she don't exist. Just go ahead and just live your real life
she took
instead of just demanding that everybody else live theirs.
she took all his money, then embarrassed him again on TV.
Yeah, call him. Set up there. You broken. You got bad credit, and I done messed up your money and made you come back from
But
your other
see,
woman overseas. Just
but
This is
see,
a
even
toxic
that to me,
situation. This is a toxic situation.
but see,
Yvette say, yeah,
even that
both
to
of them
me.
never have anything nice to say about each other. That's right. They don't.
Hmm.
It's both of them.
But
That's why I'm like, Robert ain't no victim. I have no sympathy for Robert and her aggressive behavior toward the other women. Her karma came via Juan and his pick me by marrying him. Y'all believe they married? Has anybody seen a marriage license yet?
No, but I believe that they're in something. They're in something. That's for sure. Because no one's gonna go on TV and link themselves with the person and flowers and a quote unquote
Girl,
sex.
you better quit. You better quit playing. You pull your head out the sand. You too pretty to be an ostrich. Yandy did that same thing on Love and Hip Hop, and she is not married to Mendices.
That's why I said I didn't say they were married. I said they're in something.
They in an agreement to be on this TV show.
Shanisha, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
To me, how do you feel? I always saw the thing about when they first got on and she was crying about how they lost their money and the friend had, unalived himself and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, I always felt like that was a complete lack of male leadership in the house because there's
That
no way in
child,
the world my
that
husband.
young man. Now, sis, a lot of these young men, they go to the NBA, they go to the NFL, they go to the MLB, they get
Hmm.
these sports contracts, and they have no financial literacy. Are we really gonna sit here and pretend like young black men are financially literate? Is that what we're doing?
Here's the thing: Robin came from a
And
family
mind
that
you,
was though.
according to what you said, this the son of some drug addicts who just
Hmm.
happened to be decent handling a ball and got a contract with the NBA,
Here's
who
my thing.
trusted somebody that he had a real bond with because y'all lived in the same house. She was basically his foster brother.
Oh God.
Y'all know that girls are smarter than boys are supposed to be. Girls supposed to be more advanced than boys and all that. So
Tanisha, you're not gonna
he
walk past
trusted her.
that. Tanisha, you're not
Now
gonna walk
I'm
past
just
that.
saying, let's just but it is what it is. Let's just call it what it is.
No, they was foster what?
But what I mean, is, if you
That
came
was
up,
basically the foster brother.
if you came up like, cause I saw their house. I don't know if y'all remember. She had flashed to their house. She was like, "Oh, we used to have a chef. I used to have this. I used to have that." I'm a real estate broker, so I always look at houses in the area where they were. There's no reason why y'all could have just paid. If you don't do nothing else, you make sure you got a roof over your head. You let y'all get to the point where your children is bathing in cold water. And to me, even Robin's Juan's parents may have been strung out. Robin's father is a dentist. I don't know what her mama did, but she actually did
But
grow up
this
more
is
like
the
Candiance.
thing.
So she came from financial security.
The mama seemed like she got sense too, and that's probably
Mm-hmm.
why he thought that she would know what to do. And if and mind you, I'm not discounting the fact that Robyn was still a young woman, and she still hadn't got her feet up under her. I got that. She probably should have went to her mama and said, "Mama, what I'm supposed to do? Mama, what I do with this?" You know what I'm saying? Because we see here that she make moves and don't tell her mama what she doing.
Mm.
I joke about the whole money situation, but that is a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? To just go down the tubes. But with all that being said, when the boy made a clean break, had him another woman overseas living his life, girl, you ain't come back. She should have left that boy where he was.
Seanitra, you know what? This is
Would.
with this Porch and this foster brothers. Y'all took me out.
That's your foster brother.
But
Okay. Okay, so let me say this.
what?
Did her parents not foster him when his mama died?
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yes or no?
look, I don't. The foster brothers, Seanitra.
Yes. If I foster a child, if something happened to one of y'all today or tomorrow, God forbid, and your children say, Auntie Nitra, we can't let the state take us, I'm gonna say, babies, come on here. We ain't gonna let them clear people get y'all. Come on in here. Just keep my house clean. At that point, I'm fostering those children. Any children in my house are their foster siblings. Is it not so?
Yeah, that's sure foster siblings.
Okay.
But I
That's
think
her foster brother.
I'm.
Mimi say Juan is her brother husband. That's why he be looking like he want to give her a wedgie all the time. Because that's his sister, man. Shoot.
And that's why she's so mad at Wendy when she said you don't have a relationship. But here, I want to know
Because
from
she
the
know.
previews. I want to know from the previews if there actually is a picture of the Georgetown girlfriend. Because I want somebody to go ahead
Okay.
and put it out
I
there.
want to know
I
what's in
want
that
Robyn.
phone too, girl.
I want Robyn or Wendy to be the ones to put it out. That's the only reason why I want. I'm sorry, not Robyn, Karen. The only reason why I want Robyn to come back is because I want to see Karen or Wendy throw this whole Juan situation up in her face and watch her squirm. That's
And
the
I
Child,
only reason why I want to see
Morgan's
it.
Muse and say, shoot, Mia and Jackie was foster sisters and flashlight sisters. Lord have mercy. We got them foster kids. These foster kids, hell boy.
not
Say they
Andrew
grew up
Mack.
together. That's her foster brother. Sure is. Don D say they were foster brothers. Plural. I'm telling you, that's why it's like that. That's her big brother. She be trying to act like him. This is a say not a wedgie. He do be looking like he want to give her an atomic wedgie and a noogie all the time. You know how big brothers act when they friends come around. They be running their little sister in the house like, girl, why you calling me? That's how he talked to her. He with his woman and his little sister keep calling.
Did that stop it? I can't handle the foster brother with like
The brother
Mm-hmm.
husband. I can't. I can't.
Okay,
and then you
Yvette
got
say
his
yes,
crackhead along with
now
it.
and Yvette got the clarification. She say her mom was a foster caregiver for 20 years. I have many foster brothers. That's right, and you didn't marry none of them, did you? Mm-hmm.
Oh God, baby.
Yep, high fiving after they hunt. Don D talking about I hate this poor. You love this poor. That's why you here. That Rob got pregnant with that second child and Juan didn't leave. No, he didn't leave. After that, he stuck. Shoot, you got them goddamn kids there. What are you supposed to do now? Then got his foster sister pregnant twice. You heard what he said when they was up talking about planning this fake wedding. He talking about I didn't have a choice the first time. I ain't had to say the first. I say, ooh. Not Juan's feeling.
Oh, he said, "Oh, I missed that."
Go back and run it. Go back and run it. When they was when she
Oh,
was
I'm gonna have
talking to
to.
him about it, and when that scene when the boys was in there, and they was talking about, well, what you think? And
Um,
what he was like, I ain't got no say in that. I ain't had no say the first time. You did have a say. No, the hell he didn't. You heard what he said. That's right. Bet said she ain't married none of her foster brothers.
wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep, that's right. He said what he said. He had no say in it the first time. Okay, Auntie Eva heard him say it. The boy said that. That's why I say free one. They, I appreciate them people for taking him in. He can't control that his mama died. I get that. And his mother and father, I'm sure her mama and daddy, I'm sure they had the best intentions when they took that boy in. And I'm sure they did very good by him. But he shouldn't have had to marry his foster sister.
You know another one who's a little sly?
Look at Ellie. Not y'all want one to abandon his brother and his nephews. That's too far. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. Mm. I'm done. I can't.
Don't fall.
I'm trying to keep a straight face and tell these jokes, but they getting rough.
You just
One
split
is
off
with
the brother
the
like nothing.
Oh no. My favorite, I love margaritas, but my favorite drink really is Johnny Walker Black Label. Now I will take a green label if I can, somebody want to be sweet to the girl, but Black Label at the least. Randa say he looked so disgusted when he walked in on her with that wedding dress on. God dang it. Boy, look at here. It's a messed up situation.
But it tells me that Michael Darby was right though when he proposed, and Michael was like,
Yes, he
"That's never
was.
gonna happen."
It could fall apart at any time.
Well, that and when Karen told Robyn, "You better be careful word what Juan say when he's drunk." I think what happened was they all went out as guys, and Juan must have said something, and that's why in front of them. And
He
Ray went
said it
home
to
and told
Karen
it.
while he was drunk. That's why she told her, you need to worry about what he say when he's drunk. You heard what Karen say he said he wanted to do a threesome with her. And I believe he said it. I believe he said it while he was drunk. I don't believe he meant it, but I do believe he said it because I ain't never heard Karen just dry lie on nobody.
No,
Ever
Karen wasn't
say he
lying.
couldn't have married his foster brother Roberto. Y'all terrible. Hey, Republicrat. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I believe he said it, though. Morgan's Musing say Robert is an angry gentleman. She knows that she is not loved. She go along with the farce while being constantly insulted and embarrassed. But she give as good as she get because she be insulting him too. Now they trade them licks.
Back
You
and
know how siblings are. You know how they are. Me and my brothers trade shots every now and then. They say something slick, I say something slick. It be like that.
But the thing is, right, when Rob gets aggressive, like Andy does not call her out at all, and
Well, he
then
said something this time and brought up the incident with Monique and that umbrella.
to me, right, Andy is.
I know it was fake, but yeah.
Yeah, I get fakery from that. I get like he wants to appear like he's chastising them,
Uh-huh.
so he can bring them back and play in our face again with it one more time.
He'll
Oh, of
bring it
course.
up.
That's it. I told y'all
He'll
that's what they're doing. That was the whole purpose of that interview with her on Watch What Happens Live with Ebony K. Williams phone and tell. That was all to play in our faces because he can see on social media, y'all been giving him that work.
Well, that's it. He'll go as far as acknowledge it, but there's no real accountability. Now
Ain't
with
gonna be no
Monique,
accountability.
now with Monique, there was all these speeches, and we don't condone this, and black
Mm-hmm.
women, and da, 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 and that's not what this network. It was all of that. But when it comes to Robyn and her aggressiveness, constantly running up on people,
They
fingers in the
brush it
face,
under the table.
you
Exactly.
know, you'll show it, but she could just say, "Oh, okay, well, that's just how I felt in the moment," and it just move right along.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but then like when it comes to like Atlanta, he's so sensitive about it. Like any little thing they do, he hops down their throat, ready to hold someone to the fire. But for some reason here, Robyn just gets that pass. And you know what? I love it because it shows me all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes
Yep.
that I would have never seen before had they not let Robert
Mm-hmm.
slide. Like if
Mhm.
I
they
agree.
yeah, like if I hadn't seen this with my own two eyes, I would have thought that like a lot of people were complaining for nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Andy for his works, and he's trying his hardest to hide it. But him and Candy have the same thing. They can't really hide what they're thinking in their face. You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
It shows. Yes. I
It
totally agree.
yeah. Well, I like it. Anyhow, Seanitra, like you know what this Foster Brothers thing.
Y'all, I joke, I joke, I joke. Hey Jennifer.
You slid past that so fast, Seanitra. You kept on rolling, and you was about to keep talking too and spitting facts, and it was like, no, 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 like
You
that.
said go back. I ain't even mad. I ain't mad you made me go back to it. I shouldn't have threw that joke in there. But it's true though.
Because like with Foster Brothers, you could picture them in the yard just throwing ball at each other,
Yep. You know they was mud wrestling,
playing
throwing
mud,
having snowball fights. They was doing all that.
pitching marbles. Like,
Yeah, and all the stuff that brothers do. Sit up and pick at you, make fun of you, and pull pranks on you. Yeah, all that.
yeah, that's why she's always talking about farting and pooping and all kinds of stuff because that's what
Yes, because that's her brother. I can imagine it. I can imagine he come by. What up, bro? What up, bro? Hell, when she called him with that mess about that woman in Georgetown, did he say, bruh? I think he said, bruh. I'm about to go back and listen because if he
Yeah,
said, bruh,
he said
did he say it?
he said Robyn. He said Robyn, why are you calling me with this, bruh? Or something like that.
Yeah, he did say, bruh. I thought I heard, bruh.
It was something
See?
like that.
it. But this is the thing about Robyn. She got all this going on in her background, and she over there all up in other people's business. Her and Ashley got the same problem. They stick their noses in other people's business, come with a strong opinion, and just got hot garbage in the background, just
And
burning.
their lives is entertaining enough. Their life is entertaining enough. She over there with Sister Underbridge and Uncle Lump
I,
and
I feel bad for her mom though. I feel bad about the bridge stuff. I always feel like
why?
because that's a reality, man. Like paycheck to paycheck, there are people who are like that.
Nah, man. Nah.
What?
Mm-mm. I've
Mm-mm.
been black my whole life, and I ain't never been tempted or close to sleeping under nobody's bridge.
That's because
And
it
I'm
tells
all
a
and
story.
I'm all the way black.
No, but I'm saying like that her under a bridge tells me more than her just being under a bridge. It told me a different story. You had to be way out of your mind to leave your kid and just go under the bridge with a boyfriend. So that told me all
I
I
think
needed.
it's that. I think it was the Dopolina. That's what I think. It was. I believe it was the Cracker Rock. I said before. I believe it's the Cracker Rock. I believe it.
It was something.
But I know dope heads that go to work every day. So I'm just like, there's still no excuse for me.
No, but what I think, only me. I think like Ashley thought that she was gonna outsmart Michael, and she takes her money and just gives it away to Sheila because when she met
Mhm.
her mom had a house and an allowance. I thought that was a little strange, being that Ashley doesn't really have a job. And I really think like Ashley thought that she was gonna get one over on Crocodile Dundee, and it didn't turn out that way. But I see straight through the mess that's happening right now. Her plans backfired. Michael wants to get away, and now she's scrambling because she's stuck with $0 and 0 cents. She's holding a bag of rocks, and she still got.
I don't think they're getting no divorce. I'm still not sold on that. That story is not working for
No, I'm
me. I
so.
don't believe it.
I have met people as dumb as Ashley, so yeah, I believe it.
I'm not disputing how dumb she is. Now I put my last dollar on how dumb she is. Do I believe
Mhm.
she dumb enough to walk away without a dime? Of course I
Mm-hmm.
believe she's that dumb. But do I believe they getting a divorce and we gonna find out? No. My bet is next season. Well, we decided to work it out for the boys, and he spent some days over here and some days in the condo, and he don't want to film with y'all because y'all was talking about him. Now that's my bet for next season.
Oh,
Bet me if
Mhm.
they end up working it out for the kids, and I'm doing air quotes. Hey DT.
yeah.
But something about Sheila, like you said, I don't know if it's the drugs or whatever. It could have been, like I said, Ashley is another one, looked like an '80s baby, probably had parents running around doing whatever. But it's also seemed like there's some arrested development with her too, like because I remember Michael saying something about he was worried about Ashley ending up like her mother. And that whole thing about her living with that man and leaving. I don't know what type of childhood Ashley had. It seemed like that's why she's so close to her uncles that they had to, for a time, take care of her because Sheila was, off doing whatever. It's something is just off there with her. Even if she's not still on that narcotic, something still ain't right there. And I feel like Ashley
Mm-hmm.
probably will never be able to, like, no, I don't want to say be free of her, but like not have to take care of her. Like I feel like Ashley will always have to, and I think that's what a lot of this. What it wasn't just Ashley trying to secure her own bag; it was her also trying to, take care of her mama because for some reason she's like almost like she doesn't seem capable, like she
Yeah,
doesn't have the capacity.
her mom.
Nicaise, thank you for the cash app, sis. Go ahead.
Oh, her mom seems entitled because remember when Ashley and Michael were getting into it about her mom, and the mom was like,
I
"I don't
remember that.
like it to him," and I'm like, "Girl, you a grown woman. Like, why should
Hmm.
he have to come out of his pocket and do for you? If he does, appreciate it and move on."
Her and a boyfriend. You laying up with a whole able-bodied man, and you want your
Thank
daughter's
you.
husband to take care of y'all, but while you laid up sleeping with some man, that's doing what all day? Why in the world is another grown man? You're not gonna take care of another grown man, and it's the audacity and entitlement you even have to expect that. And that's what I'm saying. Ashley feel like she went right along with it because that's what I'm saying. I feel like she's always had to be emotionally responsible for Sheila to a certain
It's
extent, like
like
that.
that sometimes when the mamas have habits, and I know one mother in
Yeah.
particular, she didn't even have a drug habit, but she was just irresponsible, and her only child daughter had no choice but to kind of be responsible for her mom. It
Yeah.
happens.
Hmm.
But I still say, ain't no divorce until I see it. Just like I'm waiting to see a marriage license from Lil Robert, I'm waiting to see a dissolution of
Verdict.
marriage from Ashley. I don't believe it. That's why none of the stories she told this season made any sense because it didn't make sense. And Ashley is fine with that. Oh well, I'm gonna just work it out with Michael, and we worked it out for the kids. And she don't care if y'all say, "Oh, I worked it out because if y'all say she worked it out because she wasn't gonna get no money." Like she already know that's what people gonna say. She don't care.
No, I feel like he's the one that's checked out. She's the one that's holding on to him. That's how I read the situation. So, like, if
Child, boo.
yeah, I feel like she's because he didn't. If I remember correctly, don't quote me too much, but I don't think Michael wanted kids, and she's the one who
Of
forced.
course, that old half dead man ain't want no child. How many zombies trying to go to the maternity ward?
I don't know, but I feel
He
like
went and got them babies. It's not that he checked out. Mona, get your wildcats. Sorry, I had to be mom. But the bottom line is they have an open marriage, or at least it's open on his end. That man wants to cheat in peace, and y'all keep talking
Hmm.
about him and telling on him when he out there doing his sneaky, sneaky, freaky, freaky. He wants y'all people out his business.
Ashley is the one who brought us
Yeah.
this.
I don't think he switched up on Ashley at all. I think
I
this is
don't
what
think
it
so.
was. This is what it was. It's what they agreed to. That's why he probably looking at her like, why are you sitting here playing this game like this ain't what it's been since we got
Uh,
together? And I really
that's my whole point. I agree with you. Michael is the mastermind behind this because Ashley ain't never been a mastermind. Her head would give you the impression that she's capable, but she's not. Michael is behind this. So, and he let everybody run their mouth. And then when it's all said and done, well, Michael's not filming with y'all because of how everybody talked about him when y'all thought we was getting a divorce. I'm not buying it.
So wait, Seanitra, you feel like Michael wants to be tagged with Ashley?
If he didn't want to be tagged with her, he wouldn't have married her. He don't care nothing about that.
But that's what.
He
No,
wants.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
wants
Like he
access
doesn't
to
like.
her. He wants access to her and to his children. He's not going to let her wander off into the sunset and get a hefty child support payment for ATM and money bag. Yo, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. That man put her in that house. That same man who has had her on a financial leash, a very short one, the entire time they was married. All of a sudden, buying a house in LLC, no LLC, who knows? Because Ashley be lying. But all of a sudden, he buying a house over $2 million, and he wouldn't even let her buy clothes from a decent department store. This girl still wearing clothes from Rainbows and Dots.
I don't even think that he's really buying her a house for $2 million. Like I feel like there's a loophole.
Well, she in the house and she ain't got the bread. So now either he paying for it or she back the slang and coochie at the truck stop. Now you tell me which one it is.
Well, what in the world has Ashley been doing on her money? This is their 7th season. It's not like
Giving
it's the
it to
first 2 seasons.
She ain't got the
But
money
now
for
they
the
should be.
house that she's in. That house is not cheap and that area ain't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley got that house because Michael bought that house. That man did not buy that house for nothing. He is out there doing his thing. He been doing it the whole time they were married. When they came on the show, that's what it was. She tried to hide it, and when it came out, that's when she started telling these stories about, well, we were swingers. Ain't no swingers. Y'all got an open marriage. Y'all had an understanding. He got access to you and everybody else, and you supposed to sit over there and be quiet about it. And she was. But the blogs kept saying, Michael Darby spotted this place. Michael Darby spotted that place. Michael Darby said, stop spotting him.
Right. Right.
That man is not finna let her ride off into the sunset with them 2 nice child support checks. No. She gonna stay in that house and shut the hell up is what she gonna do.
I don't know. Like what was off to me was like she was only like 2 or 3 years older or younger than one of his kids.
So, yes, and Michael is being the colonizer and owning that land in Somalia. I think I posted that in Patreon or in Discord about him owning that land over there in Africa. Oh yeah. Because he got the bread. He got plenty of it, but he's a real scumbag. DT, thank you for the super chat. Say, leave Michaela Nosferatu Quasimodo, Grinder Girl Darby. Let him have a chance to let the men in the Somalian army to bust his boochie wide open. I'm through. Not bust the boochie wide open. Wide open? Wide open. Okay, thank you for the super chat, DT. Trina said the vampire from Underworld isn't still a millionaire for being stupid. He has all that money. Why make payments when you can have the money to pay for it and be yours? Right. That house is in his name because it's his. It's in his name because they not getting no divorce and they not fooling me. They not fooling me. Now listen, I ain't gonna say they not fooling y'all. They can fool y'all. I'm not slow. I peep game quick. Real quick.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, I peep game so quick I offend people because before they can get their shot off, I done already caught them. This right here is game.
But I remember
the question: what's she doing with her money?
She's giving it to Sheila. I believe that.
You think she giving it to Sheila? Okay, so now let me ask you this then, Sunflower. You think Sheila's still messing with that dope?
What? I don't know. I can't or I don't know.
I mean, I'm just asking.
But I'm saying, like, when I look at Ashley, she does not have on the latest of anything. Her hair's never done. Her makeup's never done.
He got her shopping at Rainbow and Dot. If all of a sudden he's spending money, it's because this is his plan. Other than that, he would not.
No, what
this man is behind this.
Hang on. Robyn was able to purchase a whole house with this salary. Ashley could definitely do the same.
That's what I'm saying.
But she
they should be on a couple
$100,000
a year now.
In that neighborhood, the house that she got is still in that same neighborhood where the condo, the penthouse is. she said it's 7 minutes away. She couldn't have done it. Robyn, right now, if Robyn sold her coochie and yours too, she couldn't get a house in that neighborhood. She couldn't.
Yeah, but that's on Ashley though. She's the one who's trying
But
to keep.
that's the whole point. She want to stay there. She still want that lifestyle, and her husband bought it for her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like she's the one who wants to be attached to him. I don't see it working the other way around. Actually, she becomes a liability when for Michael because being with her is blowing up his spot. He's always in the blogs. Being with
Not
her,
no more. Cause not all y'all done fell for the I'm getting a divorce. He's straight now. Michael been around here slinging it around town. He playing helicopter with the dang-a-lang. And ain't nobody weak about it. Michael Darby. And Michael is out there doing his thing. He said, let him do his thing. Hey, Ali, that
no,
man don't want to be spotted. He say, stop spotting him.
I really do believe they are getting a divorce. Only because I have met women like Ashley who do
I
the
have
dumb
too.
moves.
That man ain't stupid. Now that's all I'm gonna say. He is not finna let Ashley march off into the sunset with them two good child support payments.
But
You
how
can
much
believe that if you want.
to the tune for Ashley with the two kids? Not that much.
Say what?
I don't think that child support would be enough of a deterrent for Michael not to let her go.
It's not. It's not even. You got to look at this man. Won't even let her buy decent clothes. You think she? Do you really think he want to pay her that every month?
I think he really don't
Come
want to
on
be.
now.
Yeah, I
It,
really.
it's not about. It's not about where they want to be. People like him did not get rich by being emotional and stupid. That 13K a month is less than he would pay for one child in child support. That man would be dumb to make a move like that, and he's not stupid. Ali, thank you for the
Yeah.
super chat. Say Michael gonna divorce Ashley for real. His association with her in this show is dragging his reputation down, especially now that the Somali story is resurfacing. Thank you, Ali, for the super chat. He may do it eventually, but this right here ain't real. Ashley didn't even tell the lie right.
No, I believe it's real because I don't see what benefit she provides to him at all. If he has that
But
much,
it just doesn't make sense. It's not about a benefit. Women are not there to benefit men. Only black men
no,
are,
you're
are
saying that
ashy enough to
he
look for
doesn't want to
women to
pay.
benefit them.
No, what you're saying is like he doesn't want to pay like the child support or
It's
pay.
not. It's not even just the child support. It's in his best interest. He still has access and control over what happens with his children. This is his second set of children. He ain't got to pay for them. He can keep her on a leash, and she doesn't. She doesn't impede his lifestyle at all. She doesn't impede his lifestyle. If he didn't want access to her, period, he would have never married her. He still gets access to her. She's still gonna jump through the hoops,
That's not
as
how
we
I
saw,
see. I feel like
as we saw on the reunion, because she sat up there and apologized on national TV for talking about the fact that he yelled at her when she went over before she went over to Uncle Lump house on the show during the season. Everything is giving me those two people are still together. Now time will tell, because one thing about it, lies and babies eventually all of them come out. I believe they lying. Now you can believe them if you want to. I'm not gonna tell you not to believe them, but I believe that hoe is lying.
no, it's cool. I definitely believe they're getting divorced for sure. That's
That's
oh,
on you.
how
I
about
don't
now?
believe I don't believe that
Because
lie. Callie Nola say, "Where's the divorce? It should be filed by now." It sure should, sis. But I sure ain't seen it. Have you? Just like I ain't seen Robert's
that's
marriage license.
what I'm saying, right? Like Michael could care less about being with Ashley. It's the other way around.
I'm
Ashley
pretty
has,
I'm pretty sure that he don't care about her. Most men don't care about y'all. I don't know when y'all gonna understand this. This is not about caring. This is about what's convenient and what works for him. I do not believe they are getting a divorce. It just seems like a lie. Ashley ain't told this lie right the whole season. Them lies have been jostling backwards and forwards the whole season. She ain't been able to explain nothing. She don't know nothing the whole season. Everything she double talking back. She say this, but then she say that. Then she say, "Oh, I never said that." The girl is lying. She's lying. I don't know how y'all believe somebody tell lies that poorly. You got to lie better than that. I need some Shapiro type lies. I mean real solid lies. And Ashley ain't telling them.
I think like what Michael is doing is calling Ashley's bluff
What bluff?
because she's probably the one that said, "Oh, I'm a divorce and blah blah blah." You see, it worked the first time when they broke up when she had the Porsche before they had the kids, But her having the kids changed the whole dynamic of their relationship. So after that, Michael's like, okay, great, go ahead. And then she's the one stuck like Chuck because she can't do it. She's too interested in being associated with Michael, which is why everything hasn't gone through. Michael isn't the one who like.
It's not about going through. When you file it, the papers are there. Even before it goes through, if you file it, the paperwork is available, and it's not.
But that's why I'm saying Ashley is the
it
one
ain't been filed. There's nothing Ashley can do to stop that man from filing anything. She has no control.
That's why
and the power dynamic in that relationship, he has all the power. She's lying.
No, if tomorrow Ashley wanted to go to a courthouse or whatever the date is after the year when you have to be separated, she could literally go ahead and do that. But she's not going to, because she's the one who benefits from him. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, and you're right, and I agree with that. She does benefit from him. I still believe that whole line.
Hey, Nitra, I'm gonna go.
And ain't nothing gonna change my mind. She told too many lies this season around this story. It doesn't track, and when something doesn't make sense, it's because it's not true. Dr. J say Michael isn't divorcing her. He doesn't want nobody looking into his business. Amen. Because once you go up for that divorce, that's another reason why ain't no man in his right mind, when he has all the power in a situation, is going to relinquish power, open up his books and his personal business to a judge and anybody else's prying eyes who wants to go and grab public record, because divorce records are public record, and then end up paying more than he would pay by just keeping access to her, sleep with anybody he want, and then he ain't got to worry about where his children at. He good. Ali, thank you for the super chat. Broke men have access to their baby mama. Michael can still have access to her. He has an ironclad prenup. I think it's Ashley holding on to save face.
Me too.
Child, y'all can believe her if you want to.
Hey, Nitra, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Y'all have a good night, okay?
You too, Bookie.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ali said, in Virginia, you have to be legally separated from your husband for a year before you can file a divorce. Okay. I'm still waiting on papers because she lying. Say the vampire playing Stewie Darby, but she already knew that, right? She want his casket in blood, and he's bisexual or just gay. All that. I believe all those things, but I still believe that heifer lying until I see papers. Ashley is a bad liar. She's not good at lying, and it's just leaking all over the place. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, only one, Adrian. It was really nice talking to you. If you're still there.
Child, she finna go.
That's a
look here. I'm finna go too because my boss man just sent me a text message. Oops. Okay, because I don't get on here too long. But this is fun. I love talking about these shows with y'all. This is so much fun. Because, he won't watch these shows with me, and he's not going to talk about these shows with me.
That's how my friends are too, Seanitra. Like, I love my friends for everything in the world, but they just will not watch this with me. These kind of shows. So, yeah.
I was talking about my mister. He's not with it at all.
That's right. You better let them know you got a mister. You better let them let them be spoken for.
Yeah, that's my mister, honey. Well, anywho, I'm gonna have to go, but I appreciate y'all. I love y'all to pieces, okay? But I do have to hop off this porch. And Sunflower, I love when you pop up. I love it, love it, love it. But
I like all right, bye.
All right, love. Bye. Listen, guys, I appreciate you all. I am about to go, but not because I didn't have a ball. I did. It was fun, as always. Nothing new there. But I do want to beg you guys, if you didn't already hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in, okay? Make sure you hit the notification bell and click all so you'll know every time we go live on this porch. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed, okay? You're welcome, okay? Everybody's welcome. Just play nice and be sweet when you get here, okay? All that good stuff. And if you want to join channel memberships to take part in our games, prizes, parties, committees, volunteer work, all that good stuff, anything that we got going on, the join button is beneath the video. And there's also a link for membership in the description box under the video. So listen, guys, I love you guys. Everybody have a good night, sweet dreams for your prayers. And remember, if nobody else says it to you, God loves you, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye, y'all.